Hi, Dee Dee. Are you still with me? Looks like Kevin is going to be a little late tonight. Hi, everybody else. It'll take me just a moment to get that link posted. Hope you're all having a good day. And thank you for coming to the stream last night, even though I didn't make it. Looks like it's a busy night on Dr. Black's stream tonight. Hi, Ash. How are you doing tonight? Hope everybody can hear me. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Larry. Well, thank you for coming in and hitting that thumbs up for me. Oh, I'm doing pretty good tonight, Ash. Much better than I was last night, that's for sure. I hear Kevin had a nice stream last night, though. Larry told me a little bit about it.
Hello.
Here's Kevin. Hello.
Sorry, I'm just a few late.
Oh, that's all right.
Technically, I was 2 minutes late. But I had to get in, so.
Ah. Well, that means you're actually 7 minutes late.
Why?
Because you should be in. Because usually we come in early and talk to each other for just a moment or two before we go live.
All right, fine. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Oh, the salt came in. So the salt came in, and I'm supposed to get the other aquarium co-op Zis brine shrimp hatchery tomorrow.
Oh, good.
That's when it's supposed
And what salt did you order? You ordered sea salt or aquarium salt? Or ocean, or I should say reef crystals. Hi, Kelly. Who's a good girl? Okay, you got the Eastern Ocean Reef crystals. Oh, great. Yeah, I buy that by the $5 bucket.
All I'm using it for is freaking brine shrimp.
Yeah, but make sure
I
that
only
you
use
seal
it.
it up really well in like a Ziploc package or a Tupperware container, because any amount of moisture that gets in it will make it rock hard.
So what do you suggest I use?
Just make sure that you put it into like smaller
So what?
Ziploc bags
So what do you
or
suggest I use?
Tupperware container.
Or what?
Or Tupperware containers.
Ooh, you
Just
know what?
something
I'll be right.
smaller that you can break it up into smaller containers, so you only have to open a small amount at once.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank you. Hello, Deborah.
look at
Hello.
how it works.
Hello, Larry. Hello, S. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi,
Hello,
Travis.
Jess. Hello, Travis. Of course you are. You're always working, Jess. It's like freaking what? Midnight or 1 there, and you're still working. Of course you are. When are you not working?
Yeah, I guess I went a little early tonight, didn't I? Oops.
You did?
Oh well.
Wait, you did?
Well, usually I start at 2,
Yes.
but I
Wait, no,
just
you
don't think
don't.
I
No,
can
you
do it.
don't. We always start at this time, Jen.
Why does it? Well, I don't know, because I haven't had enough sleep. That's why. I said I was gonna say, why does it feel like we start later? But I always get the time zones wrong, and that's why I usually ask you, what time are we streaming tonight?
And I don't
And I
mind because I
don't know why, because the only day that we change is Sunday, so I don't know why I keep asking.
neither do I. It's the same answer almost every day.
Yep. Well, just call me Pinky or
Okay,
Binky.
here. Wait, Pinky?
Is it Pinky? Yeah, Pinky.
I don't know what you're referring to, so I have no idea.
Animaniacs. Pinky in the Brain.
Again, no idea.
What are we going to do today, Marie? Same thing we do every day. Try to take over the world.
Okay, but what do you think I can put this in where it would not get moisture?
That's right, Travis.
Hello?
I would break that, honestly, I would break it up into many smaller containers, because like I said, as soon as air and moisture hit it, it starts to crystallize and get rock hard. So Ziploc bags is the best way to do it.
Well,
Or in an airtight container or jar. I have had to spend many an hour breaking up sculpts that got hard because I refused to waste it. Yeah, pretty much anything that's airtight. So like I said, literally anything. Yeah, Travis, but the question is, which one of us is which? Hi, Kelly. You're looking now. What's Kevin doing? Is he touching treats? Yeah. So I was very good girl today. We went to the fish place. And I'm not talking low.
All right, I think I have one, but I don't know where it is, so I'll ask my parents later. Hey, J Rock. Why are you talking low?
I'm not,
Yeah, but why are you saying you're not talking low?
because I thought that's what you said as you were coming in back into the room.
Oh, no. Although I am very warm right now. Okay. No, I said I don't know where it is, but I know I have a Ziploc, so I'm gonna put it in there. Or like one of those flower containers that are airtight.
And you want to put it into multiple Ziplocs. So get like a box full of the sandwich size ones.
Sandwich size?
Yeah, because you don't want that whole bag turning to rock.
But
So what I would do is
size.
I would do them into sandwich size and then just put them in that larger container that you want to put it in to store it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because
Hi, kids.
you're only using it to do brine shrimp patching.
Correct.
So you're not using that much of it, and you don't want it to turn rock hard. Because then you'll be mad at yourself for buying such a big bag and having it turn into a rock that you can't break up. That's right, Chulupa. I keep Ziploc bags handy. I save all the little airtight containers. I save the containers from fish food and use those.
Do you know how much you would need to use in that case then?
Can
How many-
also put
how
it
many
in a
Ziplocs?
bucket with a lid, but you gotta make sure you put the lid on tightly every time.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm gonna go get a. I was going to go track down a see one that is sealable, or
Yeah, but because you're not
airtight
using as much a big
container.
amount at once, you want to split it up so you're not opening and closing, and getting all of it, getting all that moisture. You put it in like 3 separate things if you have 3 separate sealable ones,
All right, I'll be right
and
back.
that way you want to split it as much as you can because you're not going to be using much each time you open. And my hands are going crazy. I see you. Sorry. Hey, Travis. Hey, Sean. Hey, Jay. Who else is here?
Yes, that's
Or is that
right.
it?
To talk with your hands.
If you're still here, hi, Liz. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, Mike. If you're still here. But thank you for coming on and just hitting the like button.
So this is what we use for flour. This is what we use for flour, but it's the same concept.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, Travis, that's true. It'll turn it into a salt lick.
Do you have a couple of smaller ones? Like,
Well, so
I would do like half that height.
like we have, and no, I'm not sharing them. No, I grabbed this from the bag next to my desk. M&Ms and the flavored M&Ms.
But Kevin made.
Tootsie Rolls and the flavored Tootsie Rolls. Love them.
Kevin probably did because I think he grabbed
Yeah.
the flour container.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so it would be really hard to get out of them, but I could use something like these, and they're supposed to be airtight.
Yeah,
Those would work, and let me see the top of it. Turn the top so I can see the actual top.
or are they
Is
screw
it
on?
just a screw on? Is it a screw on top or is it a pour top?
Screw on top.
Those would
Could
be
work.
fine.
If you have a couple of the little ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I would
this size?
use the smaller of them. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you just put them in one, every time you're opening it, more moisture gets in.
Okay, so I have a question then. Why can't I fill it up like this or this, this size or this size, put them in here, and then put the rest in like a big old gallon size Ziploc bag, and then when I need it, I just move it from one of these into
Yes, you can.
this small little one that I use every day.
Yes, you can do that. You just want to open it as little as possible. The ones just putting off to the side, so that the less chance of them getting solid, getting too much moisture. But yes, you can do that.
But there are
actually,
two other things that you can do, Kevin.
Sean, I bought
The
these.
same
I
as
bought
what you do with table stuff. If you take a couple of Ziploc bags and just set some crackers inside of it, don't even zip them up, just place them on the top. That'll absorb moisture. You can also do that with a piece of bread.
So my mother would be awful because my mother does not cook.
Yes,
So-
I have a child, but she's no longer. She's over 30 years old.
So that would mean that my usually my dad is yelling at my mother because she's touching shit before he's done with it or putting shit down where he just cleaned a space off for his shit.
Yep.
And then when he cleans it off, she puts other things there because that's him. But yeah, no, I have tea in them right now, and I could move the tea over somewhere else and put salt in here. And then just like fill these three up and then just use this and then move some over when I need it.
Exactly. That's exactly what you need to do.
That's what I'm thinking of doing. Because there's no way I'm going to put them in separate Ziploc bags and put them in like snack bags each time.
Yeah. And if you want to, in those taller ones, you could put like a fish room bag that's dry inside of it. Put the salt inside the bag and twist it closed.
A what?
Just a bag, like a bag that fish come in.
Why would that be a good idea?
Just so that you have an extra little seal. And when you're opening it up, it'll make it easier to pour into the next container.
Hey, Chewy. J-Rock, I'm her kid that she got into fish keeping. That's about it.
Well, no, I did, as a child, get her into keeping uh, pea puffers and one betta.
Hey, Chewy.
Oh, yeah.
But now she doesn't do fish. She has a big old butt and a bunch of kitties.
Jen, did you see J Rock's question? Read J Rock's question, please.
How does he deal with the fish death?
Thank you.
It was a joke about putting the fish in the fish bag.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
As far as I'm aware.
wait a minute. How does his child deal with the fish stuff? That was directed at Travis.
Yes,
My daughter,
because
it didn't really
J
phase
Rock
her
says,
much.
"LOL, Jen, she's an adult." I was thinking more like kids, and that you involve in your fish keeping.
Right, that's what he's saying. You know what? How did the child respond to the
Yeah,
inevitable death of fish?
yep.
Now,
Oh, I thought he
see,
was
for
making a
my
joke about the
daughter,
fish bag.
I think because she wasn't so much into it, she liked them and she wanted them, but she wasn't really taking care of them. She had gotten to the point where she wasn't even really interacting with them on a daily basis, so it didn't phase her when they died.
No.
And she was only about 8 years old at the time. Um, was it one of their favorite, J Rock? Or maybe only the only Molly, so she would know that there's just one, or he. Yeah, that might hit her a little hard, because she did pick it out from the store, so that's her personal fish. Um, a relationship, or does she like the one you have rescued? You may just want to ask her if she'd like to go get another Molly. That does happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Make sure to see if she wants to get a new one to replace it. Tell her it's a relative or something, and that you're gonna have her take care of that one.
And maybe this time you could get enough that they'll breed and she'll be able to watch them have babies.
Well, I don't think you want to
Unless, of
tell her about
course,
the mommies and daddy.
Unless, of course, you don't want to have to deal with babies in the tank. Well, that would help her to overcome her sadness over the other fish dying, to have new babies growing in the tank. Oh,
Well, the
that's
fact that you
nice.
got more, the fact that you
That
got
they
other fish.
would be tank at the LFS for you. That's nice.
Yeah, Travis, me neither. I mean, I deal with it.
Yeah, but you don't deal with it well.
Well, I take it as it's part of life. Damn, what the hell happened? Was it some chemicals in the water? Was it the whole ammonia thing? Did one of the other fish attack it? Like the barb
Hi,
that we found
GRB.
bent in half. Hey, Jerry, we found one of the rainbow crevenzas basically swimming sideways, bent in half. We're pretty sure one of the aggressive ones attacked it and really hurt it. And it
Yeah,
floundered for a short
yeah,
time.
the adult
I
male
mean,
that was breeding um, hit him too many times in the bladder, swim bladder. But I've also had a gourami that got sucked up in a water change tube, and I
in the
didn't realize.
python, in like the
And
python suction thing.
it didn't make it. We've also lost our seahorses. So yes, it's sad.
Yeah, the seahorses I took probably the worst of all of them. Just, ugh.
Yeah, see the ones from our fish place store, um, they use any that they bring in from other people. They quarantine, and they quarantine the tanks that they put them into.
Yeah, we talked to
And
the
then
manager.
they free
I'm sorry.
quarantine the fish that they have coming in before they
He
put them in.
says, yeah, he says that the basement has got hundreds of tanks that they quarantine every fish that comes in before they put it up on the main floor for sale. Amazing. I don't think we've ever had
Yeah,
to
I don't
medicate fish.
need anything. Well, I have.
Have you?
I've medicated bettas for fin nipping
Oh,
and
for fins, yeah.
I usually try and medicate all of my fish that I get in. I know it's not the best thing to do, but that's usually what I do because I don't want to have to worry about the fish being sick. So I try to always medicate whenever I can. In the very beginning.
yeah, you have a bet on med right now, Travis.
Kevin, I guess I could see as you bring it in for the first time and you're bringing it into a tank, throw some medicine in the tank, make sure that anything that he might have is cleared away.
Before you put it into the quarantine tank.
Yeah.
In a quarantine tank.
Or in the quarantine tank, just
other fish. Only because of my vision, I can't watch them. When they're in the quarantine tank, I can't see if there's anything going on. I just know that maybe they passed away, but I don't know what happened to them. So I usually just try and medicate right off the bat.
Yeah, Sean, I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't medicate ahead of time. So, Kevin, why don't you
Well, he's
What?
chime
saying
in
he
here?
does. He is.
Right, but
He's
what medication
specifying that.
do you use, Kevin?
Ah,
What?
what meds do you throw in then?
What is going on? It depends what's going on with his fish.
Oh, for you.
For quarantine new fish.
Oh, when I quarantine new fish, usually I just get. Hey Ryan, I usually just use the aquarium med trio,
Hey, Ryan,
I
welcome.
never.
and yeah, I do. I have two, but the stress coat is not. That's just if you treat any fish, you use that. In my opinion, when you treat any fish because they're gonna get stressed out, you do. And yes, J Rock, in that case, I would just medicate, period. But you can't medicate with different things. So, um, so I usually just use the Aquarium Med Trio and treat because that's the only one that I know that really has um, it treats fungus and the other general is general cure fungus, and I think it's what
Parasites?
yeah, parasites. Those are the three that it treats for, and I know that they can work together. Well, that's good, S.
Yeah, for things like ick, definitely. Just salt it and raising the temperature and some stress coat to help them.
J Rock, it's like $50, and you get like 10 or 12, what 60 or 70 gallons out of it. So depending on what you're treating, it's not too bad.
Depends on the size of the tank.
Yeah. Well, but if it's a quarantine tank, it shouldn't be huge unless you have huge fish.
Well, no. Depending on what's going on, if you general medication, you medicate for sick fish, um, for ick and things like that,
Okay,
you've
can
already
you
had in your tank, you're
comment
going to
here?
do the whole tank.
What?
But they were talking about quarantine tanks, but I'm talking about, you know, sometimes ick happens after you've had the tank
Oh,
for a while,
well then, if that's the case, I would bump
or
up
some
the
other
temperature.
disease.
If it's ick,
Yeah,
I would do a
temperature
I
and
would
salt.
yeah, and thank you, Travis. Yeah, it's a 24 pack. One packet is 10 gallons, so it's not too expensive considering.
Okay. Of
I,
course,
I
that's
I understand that, Ryan, but with my vision, I don't see very well, so I can't observe the fish to know whether or not they're sick or not. So I usually just treat when I get fish in because I don't want to give it to anybody, any of the other fish.
hi, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
Glad to see you up and about tonight.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he's up still, but
Your
I
natural gen.
wasn't
We
surprised.
usually don't bother doing it as preventive, although it does make sense, but we don't.
Wait, you don't at all?
Generally, no, we don't. As I say, we trust our local fish store. They do the quarantining. We check the fish as we're getting them and see that there's no wick or anything, nothing obvious, and we know they've been through a quarantine. We trust.
Yes.
And in the past 2 years, going through them, we've been lucky and haven't had a problem.
See, it is good that they quarantine first, and I do agree with that. But I still think that you should quarantine.
All the ones that we got from the auction all ended up in their own tanks.
Okay.
So there was no sharing of putting them in the tank where we had other fish.
But what did you guys have separate nets and everything for them? That's the question.
No.
No, but we don't
No, we did
need
not.
separate nets. And they were dry nets when we used them.
Things can still be on dry nets. And how many nets did you guys have?
No, she's got several.
I have 2.
Oh, 3.
I have 3.
And it's
3
it's not. Wait, got a QT unless it's an emergency? What? Am I missing something else?
Sean says he quarantines everything.
And what he means by unless it's an emergency, it's basically you got fish and you have no other tank for them. No bucket. Yeah, truly, I agree. I don't agree with medicating just to medicate.
All right, Chewy, love to have you up if you would talk about this with us.
Yeah, the link is pinned.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree, Travis. I don't always, but when I have never gotten it from them before, I always QT and add med because I don't see very well, and the likelihood of me missing something is very high.
Which is understandable why you would, yes. But me personally, I don't have the reason to medicate them without them having an illness.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, Chewy.
Hey, Chewy.
Hey. So,
can you give us your
question, do you take cold medicines when you don't have a cold?
No.
Well,
but I know when I'm
sick. Be over treating a fish that doesn't have anything.
But I know when I'm sick. I can't tell when others aren't sick.
Well, I can tell when other humans are sick.
But you're going on an assumption that every fish you get might be sick. That's what I'm saying.
That's entirely possible. They might be sick.
Yeah, but they might not be, and there you are treating the water and then putting antibiotics into the system.
Naturalians, come on up. We'd love to see it.
Like you're just not dealing with one little common element that's practically in all waterways, which is salt. When you do antibiotics, they don't disappear. And then the little bacteria build up an immune system to it.
But that's over quite a long time.
No, it doesn't matter, Kevin. It's if you do it and 100 other people do it, you're just adding contaminants into our system. This is why every other country has had to say, no, we can't have medicine. Now we got to go to a doctor because of everybody mistreating. I'm not just blaming the fish people. I've seen people dump down pharmaceuticals down their toilet.
Yeah.
And to me, it's total irresponsibility.
Well, that, yeah.
Especially if you know that you're getting fish that have been treated for generally all of the bacteria forms from various different outlets.
Yes, Chewy, but the problem is here, I don't think anybody treats.
I think everybody does, and they just over and over and over treat.
I don't think my fish store treats.
Kenny says he doesn't treat unless they're sick, but he also says that in Kevin's situation, it might be understandable.
Yeah, I sort of get where Kevin is, okay? But the thing is, to state that to be a whole general audience, you're just asking for trouble. Like right now, you guys, the United States are barely being able to keep pharmaceuticals on the shelf. It's affecting other pets, Kevin. Like they've changed dewormers for horses, all sorts of things,
Yes.
because they're concerned.
Naturally, you're muted. I don't know if I did that or you did. Okay. S is
I did it.
asking if that's the plant.
Yeah, this is the plant farm.
My, what a boring tank. Hey, Jen,
it,
can we get a plant
is.
farm tank?
it needs some fish.
Yes,
There's no fish in here.
yeah.
Yeah, she's talking about converting one of the big tanks into a
Night,
CO2.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
Like I understand where you're at, Kevin. But the thing is if people hear that you do it all the time, and they don't know any better, it doesn't solve the issues.
I understand that. And that's why I said I do it because I don't see very well. That's why I said I do it all the time, but that's not what you should do.
Okay,
He did specify that.
yes.
Kevin did say
But
that.
you're suggesting
I know what Kevin said, but there might
No, I'm not suggesting it to others. I'm saying I do it because of my vision. I never said anybody else should do it.
Well, I'm making sure that basically you should just not say anything. We know the reason why you do the things that you do.
That's a good question,
No.
Chewy.
Chewy, that's wrong.
What should we do with our waste medicated water?
Now, that's a big issue. Because no matter what you do, it ends up back in our system.
Right. Kevin, you did specify, and I thank you for that. I think you're right there.
Well, I know that he's right, but the thing is him opening up the door and just talking.
For other people, yeah. If they don't know.
That's the big issue for me.
Okay.
I understand his issue.
Okay.
But Chewy, what do you mean by that? Because I specified that I don't see very well, and that's why I do it. And we were talking about it because J Rock had asked.
The thing is,
I'll be right back.
Is that not everybody knows that you have got sight difficulty.
That's why I said it right after
That's what he said.
I do it for everything. And right after that, I said because I don't see very well.
Not to say a thing.
Okay, Edie, we'll see you in a minute.
You can't understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't. Why would it be better for me not to say anything than to say I
Okay, Kevin, I'll tell you
I can do it.
why, Kevin.
That's why.
Chewy, let me say this. If people are stream hopping and all they heard is I do it all the time, and they didn't hear the rest of it, they stream hop,
Exactly.
they think that's the right way to do it.
Exactly.
So, like aquarium co-ops,
And that'll be on them, not on Kevin.
Right?
it's different because they're in a position where the fact is
So they have a reason to do it, like Kevin does.
exactly.
Yes,
No.
PRB,
Yeah,
correct.
So it's a different kind of situation.
it's a different reason, but
Kevin,
it's the same thing.
well, the thing is a lot of it is on the system of your government involving the tropical fishing industry.
Okay, and I think it's different because Corey actually sells it and he says to treat everything when you get it. He actually says to treat everything when you get it.
And this
I was the one that said I do it, but I do it because I don't see very well. So I followed up with, but I don't see very well.
So
Whereas Corey just says to do
okay,
it,
let's
period.
just say that you get your fish from Corey and then you do the treating. Why are you treating for the same disease?
Agreed. If my store is quarantined, I wouldn't have to. But I know my stores do not quarantine.
Well, that's on your government. That's on the whole.
And I'm sorry,
That's what Dan
Corey's job product.
on his streams. He goes, he's very concerned about it because he doesn't want to end up like sailors up here having to deal with all of the vets.
Wait, what?
What does it have to do with the United States government?
Every other country has banned pharmaceutical use.
I understand that, Chewy, but I'm just talking about.
You can't have an open plane for medicine.
It's an exception for fish only.
Yeah, exactly. For fish,
Agreed.
Yep.
But you're saying it's okay.
you have to see
But
for every other animal.
Chewy, can you stop for a second? So I understand that. You're saying it's okay for Aquarium Co-op to say that he treats all his fish
Because
he has
of
a reason.
the fact, I don't know exactly where he gets all of his fish from.
Because wait.
In the
Because
case of Dan, he's getting fish directly out of the wild.
I understand that, Chewy.
And he is a reseller.
But
Yeah,
He gets them from wholesalers.
Steel sailor.
Chewy, can you let me finish though? So I understand that you think it's okay for Corey to do it because he's a wholesaler, he gets them in, and he sells fish. I understand that. But he also sells the same exact products, the Aquarium Med Trio, and he tells everybody in his audience, you should treat every fish you get in.
And that's
Kevin,
what we call double treatment.
If you had a business that sold this product, you are going to go on your stream and you're going to tell everybody you should do this with all of your fish.
Okay,
Exactly.
Because your main goal is to drive sales and
Sure, Jen. I agree with you on that. Although, A, it's bad for our environment. B, he says everybody should do it all the time, which is different because he doesn't say, "Oh, I do it because of my business." He says you should do it. Period. And I don't give a crap if you.
Well, the thing is if we keep on doing it, Kevin, we're going to be in a case where drugs won't be able to help us at all.
I understand that. But then why is it that it's okay for Corey to do it? I know he's selling it, but is that right then?
Because the thing is that he's allowed to do it by your laws.
So then what's wrong? So then what's the problem?
I'm advising you not to do it because of the effects on the environment. You want to continue treating? Like, I understand where you're coming from, okay? Not everybody is like that. But I've asked the same questions of Dan. Why does he treat? I've asked them the question: do I really need to treat for any of the diseases that you're treating for after you've treated them? The only disease that you've opened yourself up to is basically ick.
Which that you just
Right.
use temperature. I agree. You just up the
And
temperature,
salt.
and you and most
Exactly. Add salt.
and, mo-
Got it,
and
babe.
most of the time you're good. Although I will say that that's different. Dan actually does. But for me, I know that where I get my fish, they don't. And if they did, they would advertise that they do.
Well, that's the
Not
problem. Is
necessarily.
Most of the time, they would advertise that
that's
they're
the
quarantined
problem
because
with the hobby down there. Right now,
But-
they're forcing all of the wholesalers to have vets to treat the animals for the pet shops so that the blame can be laid right where it belongs.
But until they do, you have to treat them yourself because you don't know where the fish
You
are
can
coming from.
observe without putting in chemicals, Kevin.
I can't though, Chewy. That's the
I'm
problem.
talking about the general audience. I'm not talking about you specifically. I gave you the exception.
But that's why I said what I did.
Yes, well, I understand that, but the people passing by, going from street to street, might not have you hear your disclaimer. As Jen said.
I understand that, but I can't help that. I gave the
Exactly. So
I
then
said
what you did by not saying anything.
I disagree. Just because one or two people take it out of context, does that mean you shouldn't say it? I don't think so, Chewy.
The thing is, one or two can add up.
Sure.
When
But
the right get taken away from you, you'll understand.
But what you're okay, Chewy. So okay, sure.
That's
But from what you're
Travis.
but from what you're saying, Chewy, they should. Period. So why does it matter whether or not they have or not yet? Because from what you said, they should. Period. They should
I
take.
agree. They should. Period. But the thing is that they're allowing it to happen. But you don't. They don't tell you about all of the problems that they're causing down in Florida, do they?
And they still allow all these fish farms to happen too, where they get out into the wild in Florida. They don't do anything about it.
Wi-Fi or something? Okay, well, I got a security alert. You did.
They don't do anything about it. I could say the same as, okay,
Yeah, currently they're not doing anything
I-
about it. But all of the breeders.
Okay, Kevin, just because somebody else doesn't do something about it doesn't mean that we as kids shouldn't be thinking about the amount of chemicals we're using.
Exactly.
I understand that.
Because if we want to continue keeping the fish that we want to keep and keep them healthy, we have to be responsible in our use of medication, especially here in the U.S., being the only country that is still allowed to use medication.
I understand that, but my comment too is, what is the point if you're not? What is?
Hey, Jess.
My comment is only why yes, I agree, we shouldn't be, but on the other hand, they still allow it, and for my particular reason, it is a good idea because if I'd rather use meds and treat my fish because
Let's
I
just
don't
say that it
feel
is
well.
taken away from you. What are you going to do then?
Then I probably wouldn't keep as many fish as I do.
I actually see more people wanting to keep fish now because of the wholesalers being struck with that.
What?
The poor up here in Canada, I actually hear about more people wanting to keep fish. Okay.
Well, okay, so
Because
that's true.
of it
Okay,
being laid out on the wholesaler because they have to quarantine the fish as they arrive into Canada.
so then yes, that's true. If in fact they quarantine and you can trust that they actually quarantine, then yes, I would agree. That would be so much better. But unfortunately, they don't. So we have to, because it's the same thing.
Yeah,
And
well, that's your
if the whole
legislation. Does that mean that you've got the right to destroy the planet for the rest of us, Kevin?
okay, Chewy. So
I'll put it that way.
three things, Chewy. One is
right now, genetics are being affected by the overuse
Oh, I love that tank
of
at
a
the
lot of
aquarium.
genetics.
okay, Chewy. So
Thank you.
what you're saying is that you don't think that we should be allowed to keep meds because it affects the environment, correct?
No, I'm saying the proper use of medications is what should be done, not throwing the kitchen sink after this wholesaler has affected it, the pet shop has quarantined. That's 3 times.
But that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, that's what you guys are doing right now.
No,
BRB, I am too, I'm paying for it now.
Cases.
No, what I'm saying, that's what they're doing right now. I mean, but that's the problem. The wholesalers aren't always doing it. The wholesalers definitely aren't doing it.
Monsters.
Well, that's part of the issue. Maybe if they came down and cracked down on the law and then have it so that it's quarantined as it's coming into the country, it would be a better situation.
Agreed, but the problem is, Chewy, they don't.
Well, that's your government.
Well, I can't help that. I still have to. You
got to consider the
I like that too, Travis.
environment.
But I still have to get my fish. I'm not gonna not keep aquariums and not get fish because the government's too much of an idiot.
So you're suggesting everybody should do it then?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm saying if no.
Right there, Ken.
Thanks, Chalupa.
What I said was you should not use meds. You should watch your fish. But for me, in my particular circumstance, I need to do it.
That's why I said it would be better that you don't say nothing at all. Because you are an accepted case, an exception, and I can accept that.
Yes, but that's why I said that in the very beginning of my comment. And
you should be able to talk about, what he does and why. I mean, maybe there's another fish keeper out there that has, difficulty with vision, and
I can
he's helping them out.
Side of it too, but I can also see the damages and the reports of various different animals being affected and getting building up a resistance to that to drugs too.
Yes, Chewy, but
it hurts us as a race too.
Yes, Chewy.
Now we're battling a virus.
I think for me, Kevin,
the possibilities that you
it's also the issue of you bringing up that aquarium co-op says everybody should do this for all of their fish, and it sounds like you're saying that that's okay.
Yeah, you should. It seems like you should have a much bigger problem with that.
Yeah, well, I do.
And that was my no, because you said it was okay for aquarium co-op to do it because they have a reason why they do it, and that's not a problem.
If they're getting fish in from a wholesaler that they can't trust, that's what they do. But
that's
doesn't
not.
mean that they have to do it
But-
on the first day
but
that the fish come
Oh,
in.
those are beautiful plants.
But that's not what you said, and you shouldn't have
Yeah.
said it at all then, Chewy.
I'm expressing it
Sure.
a different way to you, Kevin. When you are in the business and you do not know where your fish are coming from and you are a reseller, I can accept that. Just like they do with the wholesalers up here.
But you shouldn't accept that because he's selling it to the general public, and the general public
No,
is.
I have to accept it because of the fact of your laws.
Well,
Thanks, Ass. That stuff is expensive.
yeah, I know it is.
That's what I said, Kevin. Don't put words into my mouth. I said I have to accept that Corey decides to do that. I have to accept the way that Dan quarantines too.
Yes, this is the plant that
totally
Ian and I were talking about.
Yes, but
It's,
yet you're giving
Is
me a
that
hard time.
the,
But yet
is
you're
that
giving
the
me a hard
Only
time because I said that I quarantined
No, I'm not giving you a hard
giving
time.
me and using that.
I'm just
okay, gentlemen,
Has been about.
but the two of you agree that both of you have very heated beliefs on different sides of the issue, and let the stream go on to a different time, please.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
All right. Agree to disagree. Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Like that 49 parallel is a good thing.
We're not going to have to spin the wheel, are we?
Hey, Dee Dee, how are you?
All right. I struggled to stay
So
awake
what kind
tonight.
of fern plant is that?
I think I got a couple of fern type plants in here, I guess. There's some Java fern Windelov back there, and then I just got this new kind of bulbitis here. It needs to convert. But what S was talking about, that me and Ian at Atkins Nature Aquarium, we were talking about this Blix japonica here that I got the other day at the Willamette Valley
Oh,
Aquarium Society.
I've heard of that one before. What are the lighting and nutrient requirements on that one?
I don't know a whole lot about it, like as S may have seen, Ian was telling me, and I had just read this, but this plant, it looks like a rosette, like that, everything comes out from, like a center part, but they're actually a bunch of little stems. So it's kind of an interesting plant.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it looks quite
And
a
it
bit like
doesn't stick like
dwarf
that?
sad, but it's a little different.
Yeah,
It does-
bushier.
yeah.
It's cool.
Ryan,
that.
how many are there around you?
What's that?
How many aquarium clubs are there around you?
Well, there's the Greater Portland Aquarium Society, and so like Kenny's the president there, and I'm on the board as well. I'm the secretary and in charge of memberships, and Danny does all the HAP, BAP, and IAP stuff.
Wow.
So there's that one, and then the Willamette Valley Aquarium Society is the one I went to on Sunday, and it's quite a drive. It was about 2-hour drive each way, a little over. Yeah. And then I'm also a member of the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society, which is probably about 3 hours away.
Okay.
And then I think there may be a couple more, but none. I mean, there's basically one that's close to me.
So then, Chewy, Chewy?
He's
Chewy leave?
upstream. I
Yeah,
don't
he's-
know if he left altogether or if he's only in chat.
Chewy.
I was just gonna ask
Are
him.
you still with us, Joey?
I was gonna ask him what he suggests that J Rock do. If he doesn't want him to use meds, what he suggests doing.
I jumped in kind of in the. I turned on the stream right about when that was happening, and I didn't hear the scenario.
Okay, what he suggests that you do is not medicate your fish unnecessarily.
No,
To
Jen. Jen. He's asking what the scenario was for J Rock.
Correct.
Oh, J Rock is having a problem that he had a molly that died.
Oh. Yeah.
And he had moved the inhabitants from one tank to another. He's worried about the other fish and wants to know if he should be medicated. But he doesn't
Gotcha.
really know how to medicate or what to medicate for.
Yeah, I mean, you got to identify the issue first before you're able to do anything. And then, you know, I mean, sometimes fish die. You know, I mean, I have fish that die, unfortunately, and I rarely medicate anything. You know, I've certainly done it in the past, but it's pretty rare.
Another question we didn't ask is how old was the fish?
Yeah, sure.
And you know it was a disease, or do you think it could have just happened because of ammonia, nitrite?
Well, he said it was having seizures and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Well, seizures, that usually wouldn't happen.
So it could have been a swim bladder problem. It could have been flashing because it was stressed.
But that should not be. But what I'm saying is, it should not be. It should not affect the other inhabitants in his tank. All of those should not. All of those things that you just listed should not affect the other inhabitants in either of those tanks. That should most likely an isolated incident.
All right, so I see J Rock, you know, clarifying himself, I guess.
Yeah.
Was saying I was bad at the doctor end of things, looking for the reliable source for ingredients. And so, yeah, I mean, I've been there before. Especially when you're shopping online, it can be difficult to. They don't always list the active ingredients, you know.
Which is very annoying because
yes,
you think if you need meds that you should have it on there.
Yep, absolutely.
Also, it varies from company to company because depending on what company you buy from, the concentration of it is different. So it's not even just, you know, this medication has this in it. The percentages change depending on the manufacturer.
Yeah, I mean, those websites should be putting that information on there. You know, if they're going to sell medication. But, you know, I mean, there's other concerns about, you know, when you get into some of Chewy's stuff there that...
Actually, there's somebody that I wish came to this stream that we need to be asking questions from. And it is Stephen, who usually goes on Jess's stream off and on, or on Father Fish's. He's actually an ichthyologist. He's a fish doctor and surgeon. He'd be the one to tell us what medications would go with what symptoms.
Is that Stephen, the biologist?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know he was an ichthyologist. I thought he did more than just fish. I did not.
Oh, he's a veterinarian also. He's a marine biologist, he's an ichthyologist, and he's a marine surgeon.
Okay, I have no clue.
And a
what
veterinarian.
are.
Ichthyologist is study of fish.
I know what an ichthyologist is. Thank you.
I kind of thought
So
you
that's
did,
kind-
but
That's kind of the unfortunate thing about, where Chewy was going, is that if we had vets available where you could take a fish or send them a video or whatever, and that they knew anything about fish, then yeah, it would be fine to do prescription only for
But the problem there too,
medication.
Ryan. But the problem there too, Ryan.
the problem, the problem is that
we don't
we
have
don't have that.
many
Nobody
things.
knows anything about fish. We're up to hobbyists, that's who knows about fish.
well, we don't know how to properly diagnose. We don't have the medical equipment that the doctor would have to say, okay, this is the disease. And
Right.
even the medical doctors can't say all the time, this is the disease. This is how we treat it.
That's right. Well, Jen, you and I could both be describing the symptoms of the same fish. And depending on how you describe it, he may think it's one way, and the way I describe the same fish, he may say it's something else. Just
Yep.
depends on how you describe
Fungus.
something.
And velvet and Popeye. There's all sorts of different ones that in the beginning stages look the same.
That's true, Jess.
Yeah, it was hilarious because my dad. Well, not hilarious, but it was funny because my dad was complaining about chest pains and he was having some trouble. So they did a whole bunch of tests, and they couldn't figure out what it was.
It had gas.
And then the next day he started coming out with rashes and stuff, or I think it was rashes and stuff. And so they could diagnose what it was, but until that happened, they did a whole battery of tests on him because they had no clue what it was. I forget. It was shingles. It ended up being shingles, but they had no clue what it was.
Oh, yeah.
He just said it was a chest pain, and they had no clue what it was.
Well, I had, it was like March maybe. I lost fish in all 4 tanks. One day, a floater here, a floater there, 2 floaters there, and it was like, oh my gosh, I got fish dying everywhere in all these tanks. And some tanks I'd had for a year. They were 10-gallon tanks, but still, we'd had them for almost 2 years at that time. And so I panicked. I threw all the fish in a big tub, and I did the trio of med things, and I lost every single fish, like 60 to 70 fish. I had 6 that survived. I don't know if I waited too late. I don't even know what they had because I didn't know anything. So I won't never go that route again. But looking back, I think maybe some aerosol spray is what caused it. But at the time, I didn't know the aerosol spray was deadly. So, I was looking for something in the tanks, that could be causing it. So I thought it had to be me going from tank to tank with a net or my hand or whatever. But yeah, I lost about 60 or 70 fish.
I lost two of these, or I mean, a few of these clown loaches a couple of times because the first time I didn't know, I didn't know what happened, and I assumed it was one thing, and I learned the hard way that it was something else because I did the exact same thing again because I didn't know that's what killed him, and yeah, so yeah, it's rough. You gotta learn from trial and error.
Now, what do you all feel about what Kevin said about the nets? Do you think that they need to be sterilized and specially treated in between using it in different tanks?
I think that's probably not a bad idea. It's not a practice that I do. I think somebody said that they just let them dry out, and
That's what I do. Let them dry.
If I remove a dead fish with one, then I rinse it profusely with very hot water.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's all I do.
But after that fish kill, I was doing the bleach, the 1 cup for 1 gallon or whatever.
Yeah.
But after a little while, pretty soon you dip it again. It would be better to have a net for each tank, but it's just not practical. Look in the pet store; they use the same net throughout the whole store.
Yeah, but they also usually dip them in like potassium permanganate or like that pool shock or something like that, or spa shock.
After they're finished,
Yeah.
I've seen her reach in one tank and then grab another one out of this tank and then pop it in that little jar they have.
For sure. Yep.
So,
definitely.
It just happens.
Yep. Yeah.
Hi, Patrick.
You guys can't see down there. I got like a pile of nets down there. And so then I just put the most recent one in this little Tupperware for it to dry out. And
I can't imagine having 23 nuts in my house.
Yeah.
Well, I have a little assortment.
Some tanks need different size nets too. If you got
Well, yeah, I've got a few
big
small nuts and a few medium
and then
nuts.
a little cherry barb, you're gonna use a different size net,
But you know what? I find that I have to use one of the bigger ones even for a little teeny fish because I can't catch them.
Yeah. I just use little teeny nets for like shrimp most of the time.
I've caught marble salmon plecos in buckets to take back to the fish store because they had gotten so big. I had nothing big enough to put them in as far as a net, so I put the bucket in there, made it swim in, and took it in just the way it was. And when I got it there, they asked me, "How did you get them in there?" And I said, "I made them swim in there." And they said, "Okay." And they reached down in, flattened his spines down, and pulled them out.
Yeah, I go to this one more than anything else. This one's just a little bit too big.
Now, see, I had nothing that big.
But I use this when I'm draining to make sure I haven't sucked up any little babies, because I usually drain into a tub, and then I, do that again. But I had these, and I wore myself and the fish out trying to catch them with those. I use my hand in this.
I have the regular, just little bit bigger size nuts. I had a round net, but I really don't like that. The fish escape it constantly.
What, your little ones for the shrimp?
Yeah, I don't like those little round ones.
Yeah, I saw Brian using those.
I'd rather have the square one.
Yeah, I just use the square ones for shrimp. The little tiny square ones.
Well, the problem with the circular ones is it's a square tank, so you put the circle down in there and they escape through the corner.
Yeah.
I hope I never have to catch a shrimp, to tell you the truth.
The easy way to catch shrimp is sneak up behind them, because when they get spooked, they kind of jump backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
My
I
dog
just don't
has
see it
an
ending
upset
well.
tummy.
Oh.
You just puked up a little pile of grass here.
Yep.
Oh,
Maybe you'll feel better now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I know somebody went to the hospital with chest pains like Kevin's dad, and all he needed to fart. He had gas.
yeah, Travis, we need like a drag net. Just set it down inside the tank and have it close up.
That's
Kinda
funny
like a
because
big claw machine.
when my family had a fish farm, we would hook a net on one side to a 4x4, and then on the other side we had a tractor, and we would drag the pond. And boy, that's the easiest way to catch fish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What kind of fish did you guys raise?
My dad was raising a cross between striped bass and oh god, I forgot.
Yeah.
But they were sterile fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they would milk, the eggs and the. I can't remember now. God, as many of them as I've had to pick up out of the water, I can't believe I forgot.
It'll come
But
to
he
you.
only sold them on the coldest days of the year. We've had to stand out in waist deep water in the snow. Because whenever he sold them, we had to hurry up and come and help him, get them boxed up.
Wow. And they're for food?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And whatever these fish were, whatever, I know striped bass is one half of them, but they got about probably that big in 2-year time period. And
Oh, wow.
pretty white meat,
Yeah. Tasty?
Well, I never ate one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we had to sell those things.
Yeah, don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah. Right after we got the little babies, I think my dad bought like 90,000 little babies. And we had them in 2 or 3 ponds. And we had red tide happened.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow or another, it affected us in the ponds at the same time. Don't know how that happens. But dead fish everywhere. And we had to count them so we would know how to adjust the food going in there. And we picked up over 40,000. And I guess all the stress, the fish just didn't, it took our fish 3 years to get the size they should have gotten 2 years.
Travis wants to know, were they walleye?
No, striped bass. If somebody said it, I would remember it.
Not bass, not trout, not walleye. Pretty sure not tilapia.
No. It wasn't so late I would text my brother. We had to go out there in the middle of the night and check oxygen levels. Somebody had to go every so many hours, kick on I forgot what you call them, the things that turn water in the middle of the night. They floated. It was sort of like a just turn to aeration. They ran off of 660 power.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why it costs so much. Everything is expensive dealing with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
And when we had to move fish, say, he put all 90,000 in one pond, and then when they got to a certain point, we had to divide them so they wouldn't be overcrowded. And what you do, you put these big old PVC pipes in there with a pump, and you just shoot them from one side to the other through the PVC pipes. You corral them, just suck them up. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I've seen them do that before. That's interesting.
So
Fish cannon.
yeah. But yeah, it's hard work. It's just like farming. And if somebody has land, it's a great thing to do. What was fun was feeding the babies because you fed them out of a bucket and you walked around the pond and kind of go fishy, fishy,
Yeah,
fishy, fishy.
Patrick, you're right.
And you just do these little pellets out. And you would look behind you and you saw all these little fins out the top of the water just following you around. You know, if you turned around, they turn around. You know, of course, and they would stick right with you. And they knew your car. They knew the sound of your car, the one that fed them. They knew that car sound.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Fish
And of
are
course, back
smart
then I
than
didn't
they think.
appreciate it. You know.
J-Rock says that he believes that the red tide is from phosphates, right? So is the Florida red tide from the phosphate plant that used to dump upstream from Florida in the early 2000s?
I don't have a clue. I heard they were talking about this on Jess's stream this morning or yesterday morning.
Yeah, I heard that too. I think it was this morning. They in Tampa, they're having a big problem right now. I think. With
Yeah, because
ARB says green swordtails year-round and unheated tanks in his fish shed. They thrive. They need rest from breeding over the winter, but they breed well all through the summer and warmer months.
Okay, it's cool.
That's nice to know.
It is. Now, this fish shed, is it heated or just protected from the wind? And now, when I put my fish in the tubs, the water in the tub was 86 degrees one day, and then we had this cold snap, and the temperatures got down to the low 30s, and I thought, oh my God, they're going to die. So I took plywood, plastic wrap because it was raining, so I covered up plastic, blankets, and all that so that the blankets wouldn't get wet, and I kept them wrapped up for 2 or 3 days, and I didn't lose any fish.
Yeah, as long as temperature changes are gradual, then fish can handle a lot. But I don't know. That's also that goes into what we're talking about with fish getting sick and stuff too. Sometimes they get stressed, and these things are in our tanks, and that's when they're able to thrive and attack the immune system.
Yeah, because they went in the 80s, and I think it was 52 or 54 one day when I checked it. Yeah.
GRP says the temps get down to 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit over winter, and the swordtails stay super active and feed well.
Yeah. Well, at 54, my platies and Carbenzas were out there too. I didn't have any. I've never lost a fish in my tub. Knock on some wood.
Yeah, sure.
If I did lose it, they ate it, so it didn't float. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I like the tubbing though. I like that.
Yeah, I've never done much of that. I've got one going right now. I ended up with a common goldfish, and then he was living in my garage for a long time, and then decided to move him outside for the summer at least, and maybe permanently. And yeah, he's doing well out there.
Well, now I have a sponge filter on one of the ponds, which it only has 5 or 6 fish in it. It's 100 gallons. And the other one, I have a small canister filter that I put it out there in it to cycle it. And I've just kind of left it there.
Okay.
And But I go out there and I feed mine every day, just like they were in here. You know, a lot of people say, "I'll let Mother Nature take care of them," but I still feed them and stuff.
Yeah, that tank doesn't have any filter. Like about half my tanks don't have filters in them, and that little pond including, no filter.
Yeah, Travis, I want to get some of those next year. Now, when you're saying no filter, Ryan, you don't have anything going in there?
No air, nothing.
Nothing. Oh, and what's in the tanks?
So like, yeah, there's that tub outside that has just one comet feeder goldfish. And then I've got some killifish that no filter, no air. I think I've probably shown like my 20 long that has pseudomcgill fricata in it on here before, maybe. That tank has no filter. I've got a guppy and shrimp tank that has no filter. Yeah, so this here I can show you this tank right here. It has no filter.
Now, are
Let's
these
see.
tanks?
Lights off.
Did they have some age on them, or were they new when you did this?
Most of them had age on them, I would say. But yeah, there's like the killifish tank. It has no filter, and it was a new tank. I did take a little sponge or some media from another tank, and
Not just.
just squeezed it out in there to cycle the tank, and yeah.
Wow.
So
So is it the balance of the plants? What is it that helps it all work, that it doesn't get stagnant?
Yeah, I think it's plants. I probably wouldn't do that with larger fish. I mean that tank with the clown loaches and the zigzag rainbows and stuff. That tank has a big sump on it. My Fahaka puffer's got a canister filter on it and stuff. I don't know. It may work just fine even with the big fish. But yeah, I may not chance it there. But yeah, I mean, it's my opinion that beneficial bacteria will live on every surface in the tank, and that if you have plants, you have more surface area, and so. But I mean, it's all throughout all this gravel and on all the plants and on this huge rock and on that piece of driftwood and on this little cave, and yeah.
Wow. Now, do shrimp have to have filtering?
No, there's one of the tanks that has guppies and shrimp in it. And no filter.
Because I have a wall that does not have electricity, and it's just a small, short wall. And I'm thinking I could put 3 10-gallon shrimp tanks on that wall, raised up rack.
Yeah,
as long as
house
Whatever
is
it
like
is, it can't have
70
filter.
degrees, then that you don't need a heater for the shrimp either, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, you really don't.
Probably
What did you say on degrees?
If like around 70 or whatever. I mean, even if like I think somebody was saying in here, was it a GRB or something, that he had shrimp go down to like 50 degrees? I've heard that plenty of times.
Room temp.
Yeah, just room temperature, whatever's comfortable in your house,
Well, my tanks are all room temperature. I do have heaters, and most of them to plug them in if I need them.
GRB, do they breed?
GRB said that they breed during the summer, but not during the winter.
Yeah, but do the Daniels breed outside for you?
Oh,
And
I
do you
had
have
3 Danios out there too. I had 3 little Danios out there in that tub when it went down into 50s. they're still out there too, so I know they're still alive. I see them.
Because I'm thinking about doing that outside.
Yeah, I mean, there's a hang on the back filter in here, but it's not running.
Yeah, see, I'm a little bit too scared not to have any filters in my tank. Although I
Yeah,
probably could,
it was
'cause I have a
scary
lot
at
of-
first, you know. I mean, I got this from watching Lucas, and I was like, oh, I don't know, but yeah, tried it once, and then more and more and more.
I have a lot of tanks, and I mean, I have shrimp, but it's all shrimp, so I could probably do it. What do you have in that tank? Shrimp and fish? What kind of fish do you have with your shrimp?
Oh, this isn't the shrimp tank here,
Oh,
but
okay.
the one I was talking about is upstairs in my office. It's some mutt guppies that would make Terry sick, and
That's not hard, though.
red cherry shrimp. Yeah.
There's nothing any prettier than a tank full of mutt guppies.
Yeah, there was some that came through to the auction a couple of weeks ago at the Greater Portland Aquarium Society that Ken and Danny ended up with, and then that the word was that they got mixed up a little bit, and so yeah, they didn't want them. So I'm like, I'll throw them in with the mutt guppies, and yeah, they're cool looking guppies. They're supposed to be like red lace or something. I don't know guppies that well.
Wow. I've got 3 little dither guppies from my betta tanks, and that was just keep the tanks ready until I got the bettas. But I watched Ed's tubs. He had a video today with his tubs outside, and I have to say those are some pretty guppies.
What's he got? Do you know?
Kevin?
Japanese blue, maybe.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Then
Darn
he
it.
has some
Thanks,
red
BRB.
with Dumbo, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
But pretty guppies.
So, GRB, do you do better outside or inside with them? And getting some substrate should not be that hard, because I'm getting like, oh geez, I think I'm getting like 200 pounds worth of sand in, hopefully.
Oh,
So that shouldn't be too big a deal.
That
Substrate
might
should
be a
too
little
fast.
too fine.
What? What did you say, Jen?
What he's saying is that you should have the substrate covered with moss to help protect the fry.
Yeah, for shrimp, you want some hiding spots, and so yeah,
I
moss
think
can
he's
be
talking
great.
about the
Rock pile.
Danios. I think he's talking about the Danios.
Talking about the substrate, he's talking about the amount of Java moss.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I need to get some more Java moss. That's on my
I
list.
cannot grow moss. Cannot grow moss.
Show you some Java
And
moss here.
GRB says you use the zebra Danios outside.
Wait, what? What kind of Danios do you have, J-Rock? Oh.
The discus were lined up in a row, like in a column.
You can't see that very well.
I was thinking of doing Celestial Pearl Danios out there, but I don't know, GRB.
I saw
Yeah, I
the
got-
CPDs at my fish store today.
What?
I saw CPDs at my fish store today.
Why? Do they not generally have it?
You don't see them at mine very often. I think I've only seen them in one of them.
I haven't
one
looked.
time.
Yeah, I have. I have 200 pounds coming to me, so I think I'm good on substrate.
Oh, and when I rearranged the house again,
Gee, what a surprise!
I got rid of the other half of the couch, and I now have a rack in the bedroom that I could put fish tanks in.
Why? Yeah, Jen. Why don't you get rid of that?
Zebra.
Why don't you get rid of that bed of yours too, Jen? Don't need that either.
Oh,
That'll teach him,
that's my
J-Rock.
sleeping too.
What?
He's in prison now.
Yep.
What?
Gotta go to the
J-Rock's
naughty
got a
place.
fish in prison. He's in segregation.
I have
Yeah.
an albino zebra, Daniel, that was in that tank where the clown loaches are, and it got through the overflow, ended up in the sump. I found it in there, and there's a piece of like sponge when it first goes into the sump, so it's just there where the water's pouring in. And then I got him out, put him back in that tank. Then I found him in there again. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you can't live in this tank anymore. He's upstairs in the 90 with the Ultimate Angels.
I have a sunk baby platy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was in there for about 3 months. I couldn't get it out.
Yeah, that's the problem too. When they make it all the way down, good luck fishing it out. A bunch of media in there and stuff. So many
A
places
couple
to
times.
hide.
I just knew that I'd killed it, trying to clean out the bottom of the sump because I have lava rock and it breaks down in there. And, I tried to find him. It's like, okay, you keep running. But I still have it. It's way littler than all the rest of the babies that were born at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Got a
They call it
limited
sump
amount of
baby.
food down there, I imagine.
Actually, once I saw it in there, I started feeding it in the sump.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes that's a way to catch them, though. That you can get them to come to the top, then scoop 'em up.
If I see it, I can't let it die.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
That's why I would not be good at trying to make certain strains of stuff because of all that culling and stuff. I just have to have 300 fish tanks.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was gonna say. You can still cull things. Yeah, got to find somewhere else.
Even though I give fish away, you still end up with more than what you give away.
Oh, definitely.
But I have some very pretty little cabenzas. Well, they're not little, they're full size now.
Nice.
One of them's belly is turning that purple color, so I know they're ready.
Oh yeah, I love those.
I do too. I just love their little colors on their tails and the tops of their fins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I have one male, he's a killer. I've seen him kill a fish. Well, it died like the next day, but I saw him when he hit it. And he hit it so hard, his little scales flew off.
Wow.
That subject. Like it.
Okay.
J-Rock, that's why I have Danios. They were my canary in the mines for my tub.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question. Have you guys gotten stuff shipped on it? Fish shipped on a Tuesday? Seems odd that it would be shipped on a Tuesday.
I've had shrimp shipped on a Tuesday.
Well, yeah, but shrimp can last quite a while in shipping.
And
They don't
Dan's fish shipped on a Wednesday.
But his is overnight, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm getting some fish from Angel Fish Plus, I think it was. Yeah, Angel Fish Plus. And it's a decent price for them, but it's like I don't know how big they're gonna be. But for some reason they got shipped today and they're not gonna be here till Thursday, which seems odd. I also thought it was overnight, but
It's not.
no.
Not 2 day even.
It is today.
Okay.
Oh, Travis, are they schooling together? The Rummies and the Corey?
My Rummy school.
Yeah, I love my Corys.
Yeah, so do
I'm
I.
hoping to get
Although
tomorrow.
although Posiwi does not, well, they're starting to grow on her, but she did not like Corey's for some reason.
But on somebody's stream, or it may have been a video, it might have even been one of Corey's. They said, you need to put at least about 20, 25 little Corys together, and then you'll really see their schooling behavior. But I think you should have like a minimum of like 8.
Yeah, I should have more.
Right now I
than
only have 6, but I need to get more. But they didn't have any adult size ones, or even juvenile size ones.
That might have been a Bob Steenfott stream too.
Yeah, TRB said
White
white clouds were
ones, yeah.
cool with the rummy nose.
Yeah, I have
so cool.
scissortail, rummy nose, and they call them silver tetras and ember tetras, and I think there's one more. They all stick together, all of them. But the tank that crashed, I had like 20 neons, or might have even been 25, and a whole bunch of what is this, rasbora, and it was really cool watching them go back and forth in that tank. I hated it.
Yeah.
I lost them all. Because that's back when I had a 55, and I thought that was the biggest thing.
Oh yeah.
I think we all do that. We get the ones that are bigger than the 29s or the 40s, and it's like, oh, we finally have a big tank. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna have all sorts of fish in here. And within months, we're saying this isn't big enough.
Well, I went from a 10 to a 55, so it was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a big difference. That's a big jump there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this tank you're looking at is the first 40 breeder I've ever owned. I've always wanted one of these. But
I went from 29 to
I like
75.
I have 2
Right
40
now,
breeders, but they're just sitting there, teasing me.
I've been thinking about getting some 40 breeders or some 20s. Because I've got the killifish, I've got the crebenzas,
Hey,
and I've
Patrick.
got guppies. And I've got snails and shrimp, which I want. And have a plant tank.
I got 2 20s the other day and a 29. I think these 20s are maybe 20 talls. They're a whole lot taller than the other 20 that I've got for my son. But that's a pretty big tank, really.
I think sometimes it depends on the fish.
Yeah, it really does.
Patrick,
Puppies can last for a week. how hardy the fish is.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get like 60 dither fish for this fish tank. I'm thinking about splitting it up between Congo tetras and Cardo tetras though.
Cool.
J-Rock, how
J-Rock.
long are you going on vacation?
That's exactly what I was gonna
What?
say. I would, but I only go on vacation for like a week, and I don't go for that often, and I have too many tanks.
Yeah, I mean a week or less, and in my opinion, everybody should be fine.
Yeah, especially if you have plants in your tank.
I do all my tanks. I'm going. We were supposed to leave tomorrow to go to Tahoe, but the fish won't be here until Thursday. So we're leaving Thursday at night, hopefully.
Okay.
So if
The
he's gonna be gone
problem
for
with
2
the
days,
auto feeder is they can dump too much in, and then the tank fouls.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have
and
another.
10 days is a little tougher.
I have another question. Do you guys know? What do you
Yeah,
guys
just
do?
test them.
Do you use the Zip
And
branching
be
hatchery?
conservative. Set them to feed a little bit, I would say.
Do you have the Zip branching hatchery, Ryan or Dee Dee?
no, I've never done it.
Okay.
I don't have that one now.
Okay.
I used to have the little like dish kind, and then I've DIY'd one, but I was thinking about getting that one, but I don't have it.
Rock, if you have plants in the tank and you lower the temp a little to lower their metabolism, I would, and depending on how long you're going to be gone, 10 days. Oh, I would try maybe the feeding blocks because
Yeah, but the
those
problem with
don't.
those is depending on which ones you get, they produce ammonia.
That's an interesting
Well, you
idea,
do a
though,
lot of
like to
things
lower the temperature. Like that. Creative.
What, Jen?
You do a water change right before you leave. The night before you leave, you do your water change. The blocks, yes, they might cause ammonia, but that's going to be converted by the tank naturally. It's not going to foul and mold and mildew like an auto feeder dumping flake in might.
True.
And to be honest, your fish can go 7 days without food unless they're extreme predators.
Yeah, Choke said he was having to leave his a lot when he was going on the tug. He said when he'd come back, they'd be a little skinny and look like they were mad at him, but they all made it.
Night, Patrick.
Night, Patrick.
Taking off. Ada.
Did you ever tell him what you were doing, Kevin?
Who?
Patrick Carty asked what he was doing. On his phone, I think.
Oh, I did. I was just looking at when the angels were coming in.
Oh, I think Kenny E got some Congo Tetras the other day at that auction.
He sure did.
Got them for a good deal too, I think.
And that's another thing you might want to do is kind of bulk them up for the week before you go. Do that water change so that they can afford to lose some weight.
Yeah, you guys are so
That's
lucky
a
out
good
there to
idea.
have all those things to go do.
Wait. J Rock, are you going to Florida or are you going to Dallas?
You just caught what he's going, huh?
Huh?
They're going on vacation in October.
That's what I thought. You're going to Florida.
They're going
Nice.
to Disney World.
Enjoy.
Yeah. They go to Disney several times a year. Wow.
Oh, GRB. Wow. Sorry to hear
That's
about your
impressive.
mother, but
They're
they
like, I'm
used to
going
hear
to
about.
Disney World.
Well, that's part of it too.
I
GRB.
actually had a ghost knife fish in a tank that lived for 3 months with no food because I thought it had died and it was actually hiding in a decoration.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Some of those like knife fish, they can go a long time without eating. I
so
had
that's
a clown knife for 13 years, and I just feed her like once a
Yeah.
week.
so that's part of it too. Depending on how seasoned your tank is, like I generally don't feed my 55 that much because it's been running for quite a while, and I know that it has a bunch of things in there that they can just go pick around and look for, and
You
it's
see? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and there are all these organisms and microscopic organisms that they can go eat and munch on. So I don't always worry about it.
Y'all see this big Sunny's algae eater keeps darting around me, behind me and stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
He wants me to put krill flakes in the tank.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I made the mistake of putting my I think crow flakes. I had them on the ground while I was feeding my fish, and somebody, not gonna name names, decided to jump off the bed and go knock it over.
I've got the rest of more tomorrow. I'm down to just a little pinch left.
And he
But,
actually went into one of my cans of. I guess I was going out for just a second, and he would.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw
dogs
him.
and cats both love the smell of fish food. They will get in it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so I threw the crow flakes out, but I had
If
a
I drop
decent.
any fish food on the floor, my little dog comes and licks it up.
I have a decent amount of, or I had a decent amount of crow flakes, but I didn't realize that it doesn't come sealed.
That's awesome, GRB. Glad it worked out. At least on that end.
Yeah, you're right. It's more important to spend time with your mama. I sure wished I had mine to do it with. I moved back in with her for 2 years to help take care of her. She just couldn't manage her house by herself. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. We sit there at night and she'd smoke her cigarettes and drink coffee and we would just talk, you know. It was some of the best times.
Wish I had
the
the
days off and mow my grass or whatever and run back to her house. My house was in a whole different county. Can you set an auto feeder to maybe only feed like every 4 days?
I don't know if you can set up an auto feeder to feed on alternate days. I think it's a daily thing.
But
Or
you
what if
rock
you have
it
one of
right.
those Wi-Fi plugs and set up a time and schedule on a Wi-Fi plug to turn it on just maybe once on the 4th day?
Or have multiple ones that would just click on. Yeah, that might be the idea.
Yeah, I was worried about it one time when we were going to be gone 3 or 4 days. Now I know I went and got those little automatic feeders and nobody ate them. They were still right there when I came back. They didn't like them.
Yeah, what I try and do too is like for my shrimp and stuff, and if I have nano fish, I usually try and put like a top lead and stuff in the tank. Take out most of the tannins, depending on what type of shrimp or fish they are, and then just put those in the tank. And those are, I know those are organic, but they will break. They're organic and they will break down. But I figure then I can get a bunch of organisms on it, and they should be okay.
Yeah, and they are healthy. Um, the way they break down is a little bit different than the way other things break down. It is a natural plant leaf, and it's actually beneficial for a lot of fish.
Yes.
So that is a good thing to add to the tank. It's
And
also good to add
yeah.
if you're worried about any ammonia and things like that while you're gone. But most people, depending on the size of the tank, can go a week to 2 weeks without having a water change. So if he did one right before he went, it should be okay, especially if they're being fed less than normal. I really wish Edie's tank would stop being cloudy.
Yeah, it's getting back. I still have some
It
of that
looks so
dirt.
nice.
I got probably
It looks so
80% of it the other day. But
Yep.
there's still
Just
there's
gotta
still some.
change that filter floss.
See that's a brand new piece today. See the dirt underneath this piece of driftwood? I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit, but you know, I've got all this filtration on it. So maybe my next time I can get the rest of it up.
All right, Jen. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, Dee Dee. Good night, everybody in chat. Night, Jen.
Thanks for joining me
Right,
tonight.
Ada,
Good night.
What was that, Jen?
I said good night. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Of course. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Did you see my homemade filter floss
I
thingy?
definitely understand being proactive. One thing I would definitely make sure that you do is try to make sure that your heaters, if you have heaters, are put into something that will shut off if it gets too hot.
put into something what?
Something that will shut it down if it gets too hot.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
if a heater malfunctions,
yeah, a couple of the tanks
Yeah,
where
you would
I
wanna-
just don't want to lose anything. I use temp controllers on them. So like that 125 with my clown loaches and the 90 with my Ultima Angels. I have a temp controller in there, so yeah,
That's something I haven't
so
yet.
that doesn't happen.
I never knew about them until I started watching all these streams. No.
Yeah, temp controller, I think is definitely worth the $30 investment or whatever.
Yep.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
have them on every tank.
I had one heater that went bad. I just happened to notice it. It got it to 90 though. And the only reason I noticed because I stuck my fingers in the tank for some reason. It's like, gosh, that feels really hot.
They
Yep.
are natural aquariums, just at about $30.
Yeah, I think I got one of them on Amazon, and then another one somebody like sold or donated at the aquarium club. I don't think I've ever seen them in like fish store.
I don't think I have either.
I don't think I have. If I did, I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you can only order online.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called an Ink Bird is the brand that I have. The temperature controller, and then you can set it to heat or to cool. So if you had something to plug into, there's just two outlets basically, and so one of them's for a heater. So if you set a high temperature, and then yeah, one of them. I mean, I guess you could hook it up to a chiller, or you could like hook up a fan to blow across the top of the tank or something like that. You know, if it's
Yeah,
a low temperature. Couple of months
yeah,
or about a
especially
month.
if you're in an area that's really hot.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
sounds
so
like a
much has
really
to go
nice
wrong once you have a temp controller on there. You know, that not only the heater would have to like be stuck on, but also, you know, the temp controller would have to fail as well. So, you know, some people are like, "Oh, it's not 100% foolproof," but I'd say pretty much. If that temp controller fails, you know, it's gonna turn off.
Something else I want to get is a water sensor.
Yeah, I've thought about those too. Especially the tanks upstairs. That could be bad news.
Yeah, GRB, I know how that is. I've calibrated my wrist to do the temperature of the water coming out of the tap.
Well, I have one of these CPR overflow boxes, and normally if the sump just shuts down and and I don't take water out or anything like that, it primes itself right back up when they start to pump back up. But if that water line drops to a certain thing, I don't trust it.
Right.
And it sure would be nice to know before because at 1 o'clock the sump kicks on and the canister shuts down. I run the canister in the daytime while the CO2's running, and then I run a sump at night. And I like to stay awake until 1 o'clock just to make sure that thing fills up without overflowing, starts running. So far, it has done it correctly. I mean, knock on some more wood.
I think I heard somebody tell me recently that what they do is they have like a container that they've attached to the wall around the uptake, so that the water level doesn't drop when they're doing their water changes.
Oh no, that's for those like DI wipers. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That was Mike on Florida Fish Rescue.
Yes.
Because I have water tunnels in my 3 10-gallon tanks, and it's just PVC. I can't see through it, but it lets the water be on a system instead of 3 individual 10-gallon tanks. But every time if I go to drain too much water and I break that suction, I've got to, reprime them. And by having that cup underneath there, I would never have to worry about it.
Hey, Larry.
Hey kids, I'm back.
There's Laurie.
Hey Dee Dee. Dee Dee. Ah,
Laurie.
nice tank.
But it's getting cloudy again. We were looking at it, but hey, I figure I might have 2 more times of cleaning the bottom and maybe because I did put more sand down, but you can't put so much sand down on these with all these plants. And I swear, it's the first time I've ever had plants take root. I hate to disrupt them.
Yeah, for sure.
Now these are just with a what do you call it? A weight on them, just to see if they would not melt. Of course, it looks like they're gonna live, so I need to plant them.
Uh-huh.
But everything else
JB.
is planted.
Yeah, it's a good way to start them out is just leave that weight on there and just let them sit. And once you see some new roots growing, then go ahead and shove them in.
But I'm losing some plants because I've covered some up and I can't dig them up without risking ripping the roots. And I've done the best I can.
Yeah, you can kind of like stick your finger underneath the roots and then kind of pull them up a little bit, rather than pulling on the leaves and stuff. That's kind of how I would do it. But yeah, I mean, it looks like you're doing great. So
and I did that for a lot of them, but some of them tore when I did that.
And you're welcome, J-Rob.
I just killed that one.
That's awesome that you're being so proactive about things, and I like it.
J-Rock?
J-Rock is always active. I think he's a workaholic or something.
J-Rock does stuff.
Yeah.
Does stuff.
I've noticed.
It shows.
He does cool stuff too. I'm gonna steal his pond ideal next year.
That is a cool pond. The tri-level.
It looks better all the time, don't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, he's got the tri-level pond, huh? I gotta check that out.
Oh, full size.
Thinking about making one of those in the front yard.
You must have a big front yard. I mean, he's got a full size.
Oh no! I mean, what I was kind of thinking was just some of those stock tanks is like doing like 3 levels of that is like
that's what he's.
Oh really?
Basically, what he's got. It's a huge thing. I mean.
Yeah.
How big is your that tri thing, J-Rock? So it's what, like 10 foot by 10 foot and like 5 feet high or something? 5-6 feet high? It's like the thing's a massive structure, and that's a major thing that you did with that. Not saying I'm jealous and or anything.
You're just appreciative.
I appreciate it. I'm not much into outdoor tanks. I say that, but then every time I say those sort of things, Jen talks me into it, and I'm going, oh, okay, maybe it'll look good. And every time, she's been right. Oh my God, that's great. Discus? So on discus. Now I can't get enough of these discus. I'm loving them.
I love it. It's making me decide to jump on it a little bit stronger. I'm scared for a while. So he has 3 50-gallon stock tanks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to do because my front yard, it kind of slopes down to the sidewalk there, and so yeah.
See, he built his up. You can dig yours down.
Yep.
That's cool.
See, I already have 2 100-gallon ones, and I got a girl a little deck that's maybe knee high. So I put one on the deck, put one on the ground, and put the third one halfway in the ground.
Yeah, if you're able to put them in the ground, then the temperatures can be a lot more stable. But of course, that's more work. You gotta do stuff. J-Rock.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Oh, that's interesting,
Cool
Jorby.
stuff too. You're right, GRB. He always has good stuff to show us. I started watching it and didn't get to finish it because the stream came on, but I'll go back to it. Because I think he's got 2 parts to it, maybe. I like the outdoor tours.
I'll have to check it out.
a lot.
Yeah, me too. All
I'm
these
thinking about grabbing
videos to
my
watch.
tables and just making a plant pond. If my plants are multiplying more, you can't see I have to make room to feed the fish.
I love watching videos of other people doing work. It means I don't have to do it.
I'm a glutton for punishment. I love to work.
Well, people are naturally lazy, and I'm people. Sometimes I'll get bursts of energy, but nothing like what J-Rock did for his pond. It's like, oh my god, I can't stay on track for that sort of a project.
Oh Lord. My husband said he had never been able to see anybody who works like me and my brothers. It's like, well, we just grew up that way. We had a job to do. You just had to do it. Because farming and commercial fishing, you got to do it when it's there.
Oh my goodness. I'm a bit of a procrastinator. Jen's not going to argue that one.
But my granddaddy was a tobacco farmer, and I'm telling you, any job you'll ever get
Nope,
after that
I haven't found it.
is easy. You bend over and pick up those tobacco leaves all day long for days on end.
Oof.
Anything that you can do standing up straight is easy. Oh, that's nice. The grapevines.
That's gotta look nice, especially when they come in season.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, J-Rock. Didn't you put lights on it out around it or something too? Didn't I see that?
See, now you have to teach the kids how to stomp on them in the tub so that you can put it in and make some wine.
No stomping in the tubs.
No, not fish tubs. The grapevine, the grapes tubs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, don't get drunk and get confused about those stomping fish. That would be kind of funny in a way. Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeffrey, how's it going?
I wonder if Bob's axolotls hatched yet.
Oh, did he have axolotl eggs? Oh.
You can see him in the little egg things. He moved the plants that they were in into a little thing. I don't know how long it takes them to hatch, but it can't be much longer. But I was expecting the video today and didn't see it. Jeffrey, what you been up to?
Hey, Jeffrey.
Travis got me a while ago, Ryan, when I said something about the tanks being like natural. He said, yeah, I'm surprised because natural aquariums have some natural tanks. It's like, duh.
Well, I don't know how natural this one is. You know, it's the plant farm, but you know.
I call this natural.
Okay.
And it's got all kinds of filtration pumping in it, but I still think it's natural.
That's very natural.
You don't have any fake plants or fake rocks?
Yeah, because when we started out, we had purple rocks and plastic plants, pink rocks.
When I first started dating Jen, she still had her ex-husband's tank, and it had like the submerged, the sunken ship in it, that type of decoration in it. I don't like the fake ones. I like.
Yeah, I don't either. But you know, I mean, whatever gets people into fish, you know, if they want to have pink gravel and the little diver guy, or you know, whatever, you know, that's their thing. That's cool with me.
I like the idea of the Star Wars, the giant AT-ATs going across, things like that. I think are awesome, and they have a themed tank. If you want to have a themed sunken treasure, sunken shrimp theme, I guess that's okay.
Yeah,
It's
I can
just
appreciate that a little
the
more.
natural plants are the way Jen and I like it, and she loves doing her plants.
Yeah, I love it too. I like this now, but yeah, all the little colored rocks, that was my daughter's, and we got the little mermaids, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking about trying to get one of them bowls, like Bob Taylor has the big round bowl,
Yeah.
and making her a tank for one of her bettas with her little stuff like that in it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Jeffrey Watts, you got to do a plant farm like my tank here.
Oh, he has too many plants. Wow.
Yeah, not enough tanks. There is
Could always send some to me.
If I was his neighbor, he wouldn't have too many. I'd be able to rip them off.
Jeffrey, there is always a solution to not enough tanks.
Or too many plants.
Well, I think there's too many plants.
Just so you can send some to a friend, that's all.
Yeah. Get more tanks.
Actually,
do that.
they'll buy them.
Ron, did you see that little diver that Kenny got at the auction?
No.
He got a little figurine with the old-fashioned helmet thing that they used to wear.
Okay, yeah.
Did he get the little dog diver?
That was cute.
Yeah, probably got it for $1 too.
I know Manifesto probably would have loved one because that would have matched his logo, his avatar.
Travis is willing to bring himself down to accept any fish fish or plant donations.
Where do you see that?
Yes, I will accept any excess plants as well.
Yes.
The Mario Brothers Cassie. Yeah. Yeah, I think one cool. It's J Rock. I think. Yeah, J Rock's got that. Looks like the Roman ruins.
Yeah, he just said he got a castle looks like the Mario Brothers castle.
Oh no, this is something else. It looks like the big old stone walls.
You know what I would really like? I would like a habit house.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the Roman ruins. I like that.
Oh yeah, the Colosseum and the ruins.
Yeah.
Hey Rax, Daddy says leave Mommy alone.
He says, yeah, right, like I listen to you.
Yeah.
And I love the ship that Manifesto has. Somebody gave him the tank.
Oh, is that the big tank?
Yeah, they broke the glass on top, and they gave him everything because they didn't want to replace the glass.
Yeah, that was that big ship in the middle.
Yeah.
Takes up 3/4.
It's like $140 on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
I got the Krusty Krab.
You know what would be
my son's tank.
The Krusty Krab.
What we need? What?
No, I said what would be really neat is if we took that bridge set that Donald has for the minis,
Yeah.
the bridge, and put that in a tank.
Ah.
I think
Oh
that
my
would look
goodness.
cool.
See,
Or one of the towers.
One of the towers is the tower, the multi-layered tower that Matt got months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my favorite look is the sandy colored bottoms.
I prefer the sand myself at the bottom. We've got a friend that buys a lot of like castles and bridges and buildings for our Dungeons and Dragons settings. And he's got a lot of figures, little plastic figures. I mean, some of them are huge dragons and stuff. That could be interesting to have a Dungeons and Dragons motif. Giant purple worms coming out of the spiraling out of the sand. A kraken in one corner coming up out of
I
it.
wonder if Jess the shrimp granny has done something like that. Or Ed.
Or Ed, yeah.
Chattanooga Ed also done something like that.
We could
I know
ask
he
when we
was
see him.
actually
He's on. He's on.
Chattanooga Ed to make his
Yeah.
own Roman Coliseum type thing. Oh no, he was making Stonehenge. That's what he was making.
Ah.
I go to Pam's stream a lot of times on Saturday nights while they're making the crafts. This is while they're doing all that nice, pretty artsy stuff. This is what I do. 8 by number.
Oh, okay.
Dee Dee, I'm doing like a paint by number on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Which is a lot of fun.
Do one of those.
It's called Happy Color. I love it. It's just a waste of time, but I sit back and I play with it while I'm holding conversations or while I'm waiting at a doctor's office or anything.
Yeah, it seems relaxing.
Yeah.
My cousin does puzzles.
Yeah, I like the puzzle.
But they have mandalas, they have naturescapes, they have swirls, all sorts of different.
I love the blue disc.
They have Disney characters.
Another thing that I spend a lot of time with.
Yeah, I do too.
Diamond art.
What?
Little pieces of plastic,
Diamonds.
called diamond art, and here's one piece that I did.
Oh, that's good.
We need to get that
You can do art. You can do Disney's Nightmare Before Christmas one. The painted picture is got a stickiness to it, and you got a tool that basically you just take an individual. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Individual pieces. It's just individual pieces here. One side is flat, one side is rounded or octagonal shaped.
Sort of little beads.
And little plastic half beads basically. And you just put the flat end on the sticky part where it's got that particular color.
And what did they call that?
Diamond art.
Well, that is cool.
It's very easy, and I even got myself a little light board to lay flat and light up, so it's lit from underneath, so you can clearly see the colors and the individual like numbers.
Right.
I've done about 30 of them. And that's nice and relaxing. And I'll sit here just. I have a housemaid who also does it, but she actually tries to like frame them afterwards. I've just got a stack of them.
I'd be framing the bad boys.
Well, you need to let me look through them and decide which ones to frame.
Okay. Because I've got some actual art ones, some cats. I think I did a lion one, or
I've got
Several Disney.
once we get this internet.
And I
thing
wouldn't
figured
mind
out,
trying doing that.
if I could
Problem
finish
is
it
with you, Jen.
I do a lot of adult coloring book stuff, and I
The
do
problem, Jen, is the cats would
crocheting.
get it.
Yeah, I was doing like the adult coloring books, you know, with the flowers and all this kind of stuff.
Jen
But
has those.
after doing
I,
it 4 or 5 Saturday nights in a row, I was like, okay, I'm bored with this.
now, see, I do it while I have a TV program or a movie showing.
Yeah, you
And
don't
I
do it by
just sit there
yourself.
and
You do it
color
while you
and
get something going in the background.
I do. I color in the entire book and save the book the way it is, or sometimes I'll put, if the pages are detachable, I'll take them out, and I'm planning on putting them in sleeves so that I can kind of have them in a 3-ring binder and just flip them over day by day, the different ones that I like, because some of those books that I get are like inspirational books.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the different sayings and things that are in those, and I want to use those to just have as a daily display that I can change.
Just make sure it's not a bad video, J-Rock.
Right, J-Rock?
Hey.
We never know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna hit the sack.
Some more colored pencils besides just a little
Okay, Ryan.
20 crayons or something.
Okay, Ryan.
I'm
For
just an
coming up.
artist.
Folks, have a good one.
Look what-
Thanks for letting me
J-Rock's an
show off
artist.
my boring tank.
Your boring tank.
Oh, your
No.
tanks are never boring.
Well, the
I saw
other
your
one
little
was
plant.
exciting.
Because in a couple of weeks,
This one is
in a
interesting.
couple of weeks, I want to see how big it is.
This one is
how big
interesting
the
on a
plants have got.
scientific. This one is interesting on like a scientific part. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Just trying to
Thank you.
make some more plants.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna have to
J-Rock
keep
is
us up to that.
actually an
Oh, yeah.
artist.
That's a good idea. One of those
Did
tanks
not
is
know
going to be a
that.
plant thing for me too.
Ah.
So I've been watching y'all.
Ah.
What type of media do you work with, J-Rock?
Let Ryan.
Not the page wanted.
I don't have the talent to be an artist. I'll color in what somebody else has done.
Oh wow.
I did hear him say
Oh,
something
wow.
on stream
Yeah.
one time.
You've mentioned that, yeah.
I remember the 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to show us. Have to have a show and tell.
Well, that's going to have to be like a time-lapse video because those take a little bit of time to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that would be fantastic. I'd love to see it.
So many artsy people.
Yeah, we need some non-artsy people up here with me.
Well, I'm here.
No, I was thinking to get Travis up here, so I'm not the only not the only guy here being
But Travis could
surrounded.
come up. I've only ever seen him up one time.
He used to come up a lot. You know, he's. I think he gained some weight, and he's just been ashamed to show his face
Who
or
wasn't?
something. I don't know. It's.
That's cool.
Why does everybody say that? I have actually lost weight. The jowls are disappearing. I actually lost some weight in the last year, a whole like 5 pounds, but they've stayed steadily off. I haven't gained them back.
Well, I've only been watching you on streams now, what, about
That
3
sounds
months?
awesome, J.
Yeah.
Rock. Very creative.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually today saved a bunch of boxes from my favorite candy store, and they're 1 and 2 pound boxes that I'm planning on making little dioramas inside of.
I wondered why you had those.
Lord, I'm excited that I can decoupage over an old candy box. Take tissue paper and rip it and decoupage it. That's my creativity.
Well, I'm planning on getting things like little bits of seashells and maybe some live sponge and some actual fish netting and doing like a seascape type. So I can put them up on the walls above the fish tanks.
Oh, that would be cool. In fact, I had thought about doing that for a while back, and kind of forgot it because it's been so long. But we kind of did something like that over my father's casket.
Oh, how cute!
Because he was a commercial fisherman, so we bought a piece of net, and you know how you go to like Walmart and buy all those little fake shells and crabs and all that stuff. We got a couple bags of those, and we put that instead of a head spray. We put that on his casket, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, you could have picked a better thing for him." It was cool.
Oh, yeah. Jeffrey, that's called water weight.
Yeah, fishnets is always interesting, isn't it? I wish my daddy,
Yep.
he used to actually make some. I wish I'd learned how to do it. I still have his needle, but I don't know how to do it.
25 years ago, I helped a girlfriend of mine redo her kitchen, and I helped her make custom molding that looked like sea scallops. And we also made the diorama type things for the walls because she had a dolphin dining, one of those glass table tops that has the dolphin base.
Oh, okay.
So she wanted something that would go with the seaside type motif. So we also put up furring strips that look kind of like those I guess you call them windbreaks that they put out on the sand dunes to keep things from blowing all over the place. So it really looked nice.
Cool.
Wow.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, Jeffrey, that's one of the hardest things to do is to push away from the table.
Oh shit! Thank you for reminding me. I threw some food into the microwave like 20 minutes ago, and
Yeah, it's not warm anymore.
sure it will. It is. It's called turning it on for a minute.
Yep.
There you go. That was so difficult to reach over and hit that button twice.
But there's one thing about it. This might be the skinniest day you have in the next year. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Ugh.
I've gained a whole lot of weight through COVID.
Ugh.
Oh, I gain weight, I lose weight, I gain it, I lose it.
This
I have a
shirt I'm
thyroid.
wearing. My mom went to the Great Wall of China several years ago. Every time she travels to a foreign country, she always gets me a T-shirt from some tourist location, and she always gets me an extra large. I'm size large, not extra large. I'm size large. I keep telling my mother, don't get me extra large, get me large. The following trip, extra large. I tell her, no, don't get extra large, get me just large. The following trip,
That's
extra large. Finally, she went to China. She decided to get me a large because I kept asking her for, and this Chinese shirt is running small. So this large size shirt is tight on me, and it rides up in the back, and so I told her today.
Chinese sizes, a large is a medium.
Yeah, so I told her today, you got to go back to China and get me an extra large. This T-shirt is shrunk, and she texted back, or you've grown. Thanks, Mom. Yes, Jeffrey, mother knows best. I haven't seen her in over a year. I'm looking forward in 3 weeks she's coming up to visit. No, that's okay.
Oh, nobody wants
I
to
no
see
longer
that,
have my.
Travis.
Mothers, gotta love them. Jewish mothers.
No,
Oy
you don't.
vey. Let me add
No,
that.
you don't. You really don't have to.
What, add in that she's a Jewish mother? Or for Chalupa to send me a. Well, look at the blue on that. Discus. My God.
I got me a new shirt. I've been trying to buy
Yeah.
a fish fam shirt, every month. And so I ordered the same size.
Yep.
I've been getting. But apparently this one runs smaller, but this one might actually be a woman's instead of like a unisex shirt. But here is my new shirt.
Yeah, you put your right arm in and realize your head won't fit. Oh, you got the Rico
Rico.
shirt.
Yeah, I got Rico. I got Rico all over me.
He's one of my
He said he hadn't
favorites
sold
too.
any of them, so I went and bought me one.
I had gotten a pair of
Guess it ain't straight.
a pair of sneakers for motorcycle riding, and they fit perfectly. And I have worn these out, and so I got on the same website, ordered the exact same pair, exact same size, and everything, and it came back just that hair smaller, like a 1/4 inch thinner around the toes area, so I could feel it's tighter, almost like it's a half a size too small, but it's still the same size as my original pair from the same exact vendor.
Well, I worked in the
It's
shirt
like,
factory for a while, but if somebody makes a little bit different, wider a margin than the other sewer, that's how it happens. Or if it has to be sent back to be redone, they take off a little bit more. Yeah, Catfish Terry's on a keto diet, but I did it for a while, and my cholesterol went off the chain.
Yeah, I'd be worried about the keto diet.
Now, I probably could have done it different, more veggies, but we did
Thanks,
a whole
Travis.
meat and cheese.
I almost gave Larry a can of Pringles to take home with him tonight.
A care package.
Yeah. Coke Zero.
Of all
Thanks.
people, Travis that was going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm. Probably an empty
Look.
can of Pringles. I don't want to know what he did with that can.
Like it all started with Travis.
Travis, you know, if you send him that, he's gonna send you a truckload of tomatoes.
I
don't want them.
Pringles can like that before. That's strange.
Jay, I'm on the seafood diet. Seafood, I eat it. Within reason. I mean, I specifically did not get the side of broccoli tonight. At the restaurant, I got a side of the green beans, which I enjoyed.
Now, see, I'm on the smell food diet. I smell it. It smells fantastic. I eat it twice, and I'm full. My stomach is shrunk to the point where I can barely eat anything.
Wow.
Did you have your leftovers?
Not yet. I'm waiting for after the stream.
Okay.
I try
Don't
not
forget
to
to
eat
put
on
'em-
camera.
Yeah, me neither. Don't forget, if you don't eat them, put them in the fridge.
They already went to the fridge, remember? I told you
Okay.
that. The three
No.
left.
I don't remember. Good.
Well, you can claim you don't remember instead of admitting that you don't listen.
Yes.
So it depends. Did he not listen at all, or just he can't remember what he did here?
9 out of 10 times is I can't remember.
Hi, Petraman.
Hey,
My
Petraman, how's it
for
going?
fries, healthy choices. That's
You're just
right.
getting up for work?
Petraman. Oh, he's got to go to work. You're gonna love retirement, Petraman.
Now, see,
Everybody's
I can
gonna love
cook
retirement.
good, and that is one of the problems that I'm having lately. I want the kind of food that I can cook from a restaurant. I'm sick of all these restaurant, highly salted, over-sugared, over-salted, middle of the road flavorings foods. I don't have the energy and the ability to do all the prep work to cook the foods I like.
It's where I'm a fair cook. I can't do the prep. I can't sit there chopping stuff up. So one thing I despise is prep work. Sitting there doing the actual stir fry or something in front of a wok, I'm cool with.
Hey, Larry.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that I got a small food processor?
You do?
Yes, I did. I bought a small food processor.
Okay.
So now we actually just have to use it.
And you're right, J Rock. I'm not no great cook. I think I do decent, but I can cook as good, if not just a little bit better, of everything I can get around here.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that the food that I'm finding in all these places, it's like, ugh.
Oh, Travis, that's
to me,
what I need.
it's almost institutionalized cafeteria food.
So every once in a while, you just don't want to cook, but we run into, what do you want? Oh, I don't know. What do you want? Oh, I don't know. What do you want?
We do that way too much.
We
My
don't
mother,
know what we want.
my mother and her boyfriend like dining at finer restaurants. I mean, they'll go to like a 3-star restaurant and pay the extra 5-star restaurants, like ones that have the official stars and Michelin stars. When they're coming up in 3 weeks to visit us, They've already looked up restaurants in my area and already said, okay, we looked up the French restaurants. There's really nothing good in Buffalo. Then we looked up like New Orleans type foods. And there's one that's got a very good rating, and we looked up the location, and it's a block from your house. And I went, I've never been there. I passed by it. I know exactly what one he's talking about. Never been there. So we're going to be getting some good New Orleans food, and we're going for Thai Burmese food as well. They looked up fancy restaurants, and they look for the better quality. So when they come up, we're going to be fed very well because they're going to pay for all the meals, which is always nice.
Yes,
Did they decide not to go to Olive Garden?
We might still end up there for a lunch.
I'll have to find something.
You know, as I said, the salad and breadsticks that's good for you, and you're good enough for a lunch. Unlimited breadsticks is always good for me.
Yeah,
and I can eat
I
a
like
main
the
meal.
Olive Garden lunch, salad, breadstick, soup, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, for the price, it's easy and it's good.
Jen, the few times that we've gone, Jen really can't find anything that she likes. She's not a pasta eater, so, and 98% of the stuff they have is pasta.
Didn't like those.
I like the Zuppa Toscana soup.
Yes, I do. Jay.
But I've learned to make it at home too, so.
We went to Applebee's.
If they had Italian wedding
the
soup,
super pescado.
Travis.
I would
Zuppa Toscana, like Tuscany.
I do like Alfredo,
super
but the
Toscano
problem for me when I go to Olive Garden is because I don't like pasta, I don't like it al dente, and they refuse to make it any other way.
So my husband being in the military, he went to so many countries that he likes, Japanese and all that.
Yeah.
So I got exposed to it by, let's try this, try that. And had some pretty good food.
I love sushi. Jen doesn't eat fish.
I'm not eating sushi. I did it once. I won't never do it again.
I love sushi.
Never.
Sushi or sashimi. Just, wonderful. Couple of places in Buffalo I go to. Jen won't go, so every once in a while I go with another friend. It's like pho soup. We had a place that did Vietnamese and Chinese, and I used to get the pho soup. They stopped doing the Vietnamese side and just do basic Chinese now.
Yeah.
Especially right at the beginning of the whole pandemic, they cut down their menu drastically, and they got rid of that whole entire section.
J-Fry and GRB. Sushi.
The first time I had Chinese food, you hear all the stories about the cats and everything. My ex-sister-in-law took me, and so we get to this Chinese buffet, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to eat. I'm not sure what it is, and so I picked something that I didn't know what it was, but I hoped it was pork. And the more I ate it, the worse my stomach was turning. It's like I weren't sure.
Oh,
but I got past it, and then it's like, okay, next time I went, I got something different, and now, heck, I'll eat the heck out of some Chinese food.
Yeah.
Jen pointed out the soups. I don't get the soups there. I haven't.
Jen pointed out to me that a lot of Chinese foods that we like are the pieces of the chicken or the pieces of the beef or whatever are first deep fried before they're put in to the sauce. It's like a sweet and sour or a General Tso's chicken. They deep fry the bread. They bread the meat first and deep fry it before they put it in. So that's like 3/4 of the things that she likes, and she's trying to cut down on deep fried food. So that means that 90% of what she eats at Chinese restaurants she won't do
Right.
because she's trying to avoid the deep fried foods.
Well, I got an Instant Pot, and I can cook up some meat now. Just a few minutes. I cook a whole chicken in like 23 minutes.
Now there is one place that we really haven't been in a while. I haven't been in a long time. Called Yummy Thai, and they have really good peanut chicken.
Their sesame chicken is wonderful.
That's my favorite. Sesame chicken is my favorite.
Yeah, it's one that we both love. Trying to find a place that has good.
But they also have
Yummy
these,
Thai has it.
skewers of peanut chicken, and it's chicken with a peanut sauce, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we do have trouble finding, and being close to a military base, you think it'd be easy, but you can't find good yakisoba noodles.
Yeah, I don't normally have a hard time finding a roll that I dislike, I would say, or that.
He's talking about a sushi roll.
And yeah, I don't do sushi rolls. No, except for
I'm talking about the noodles.
Yeah.
I like the cucumber one.
Hello, Sasha.
I'm sure they were, J-Rock.
Good morning, Sasha.
I've tried the what's it called? Yabut. What's it called? The noodles?
The yakisobe?
Yakisobe, yeah. I've tried those once, and I wasn't overly impressed. The place that we ordered from was supposed to be specializing in it, but I just, as I say, I wasn't really impressed with it. So I never had it since.
Good ones one time from one restaurant. Yeah, I don't know where. Somebody used to bring it to us, and I don't know where they got it. Can't find it. And it may not even be there anymore. Because they used to bring takeout plates.
Sasha, our passion
is not the same.
Our passion is fish keeping. Our discussion right now is eating fish. Sushi specifically.
Yeah, one of my girlfriends took me to a Chinese buffet. They had all kinds of the hibachi grill and everything there.
Yeah.
We tried. I put every different type of sushi and stuff on my plate. And she said, "Oh yeah, I just tried this kind. It's not as strong as that." I tried every one of them, and I did not find any of them that I would ever eat again. But I tried them. Yeah, so we keep fishing our tummy.
Yeah.
Too. But
the only ones I like were the asparagus and cucumber rolls.
I think a lot of it was what they rolled it in.
Hey, give me something crazy like the Philadelphia roll.
And
smoked salmon and
if they put wasabi on it, you might not like wasabi.
The super hot.
I like it to a point.
Lox and cream cheese. That's
it's a fine line of when it's too much.
I like to put the experts say that a lot of people do this, but that it's not the right way to do it. I actually put the wasabi in with some of the soy sauce, and then I dip it in that. Officially, though, the experts at the 5-star restaurants are like, no, you have to dip it, and then you add a little wasabi onto the top, a little of the green paste onto it and then eat it. I'm going, yeah, but then it's not cut down. It's too spicy. Because that stuff will...
I can't do horse eyes either.
Travis, cream cheese, meh. You ain't had a good bialy with cream cheese and smoked lox, smoked salmon. Oh, oy vey. Mm. Where did we go wrong? Or a nice fresh salted bagel with cream cheese and lox. Toasted bagel, cream cheese and lox. Oh.
Y'all are just starting to glaze over. But does anybody eat sardines?
It's Yiddish. Travis, it's Yiddish. Oy vey. Yeah, here's some straight Yiddish. Oy vey, you putz.
Putz. That's the only thing I know is putz.
Yeah, that's a word that doesn't get used very often anymore.
No.
Yeah, it was really prevalent in the
70s,
late 70s. You putz. I can't eat it either, J-Rock. My husband does. And it's like, when he opens up some of those cans of fish, it always takes my stomach.
Well.
C'est la vie. Then they put hot sauce on top of that. I can't even make a decent salmon patty from the canned salmon. I guess I just look at it all mushed up, and I don't like the mushy.
Find the right recipes.
And they can smell so good cooking, but patting them up, it just changes the whole idea for me. Putz. Yeah, that's what we should do. We should try to use putz.
Everyone's going to be a putz.
There you go, Jeffrey.
Let's rename here.
All right, well, I think we're going to go for about 12 more minutes. It's getting a little early in the morning here.
Are you talking about the nanny on, Nanny Fine?
There we go.
Now, I do have some fresh salmon that they caught it and they canned it right there, pretty much at the campsite and pressure canned it. That always tastes good.
Fried fish a couple weeks ago again. I tried black tip shark, and if that's all that was available to eat, I could eat it, but it's not something that I would choose to eat.
I just had a really good piece of salmon today.
Something that it wasn't so, that I said, ugh, yuck, I can't eat it, but it's not something I would choose to order and make for myself.
What Nanny find just the cutest little girl?
I just had a blackened Cajun salmon steak tonight for dinner. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, J-Rock was talking about a restaurant opening up, how everybody was lined up. Well, we went through that similar thing with the Popeyes, that new chicken sandwich. And it's like, it was probably like 4 months before I ever got one. It's like, I cannot believe people were fighting over the sandwich.
Yeah, I had one a couple of weeks ago. It was okay.
It was okay. That's it.
Yeah.
And people were actually beating each other up over these sandwiches.
Yeah, there was a long line in the drive-through, so Jen and I went inside to place an order and get food, and the guys behind the counter are like, "No, we can't just take an order." Well, what? We It's either drive-through or you have to order online and then come in to pick it up. So we went out to the car and we're like, well, we could get into the drive-through. And Jed said, we'll go on to the website and order it. And then we'll walk back in 2 minutes and get it. So we did. And that saved us like 25 minutes of waiting in line. And when I went in to pick it up, somebody was in front of the counter placing an order. And the guy behind the counter was taking it. I was ready to reach over and just strangle him.
It would be somebody on a video later on. People snapping at the local eateries.
Well,
Yeah, it
it
was
could
a
have been
spicy chicken
something
sandwich.
told them, look, I don't have a car and I don't have
It
a
was good
phone.
marketing, Jeffrey. That's all it was good marketing. Made everybody want one. Made everybody stupid too.
Yeah, Sonic came. There was a long line. Krispy Kreme donuts came for 6 months. There was a long line.
Now they're not even here anymore.
What's the Chick-fil-A is here. There are long lines. We passed one and they had it separated into 2 lines. They had workers outside with tablets taking the orders to try and speed it up. It's like, oh my God.
Here, Chick-fil-A, well, we have 2 of them, but the one that I see all the time, it always has a line wrapped around the building. You never go by it and it doesn't. And you have somebody out there with the tablet doing that too.
We continued on. We went to IHOP and got our breakfast and had a great meal and fast service and a great time. Much happier.
Wow.
Both getting our Belgian waffles.
Yes, we like our waffles.
Chick-fil-A here. Yeah, I'd say that's been of all the restaurants that were open during COVID, Chick-fil-A probably had consistently the most vehicles at it.
When the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Like to know how the heck it takes 15 minutes or more to make tacos. I've worked at tacos.
But everything's already cooked.
So there should not be a 20-minute wait in a takeout line through the drive-through line at a Mighty Taco. And if there is, somebody should be being fired.
Yeah, we've waited 5-10 minutes waiting in line. And we're like, what's going on? And then we see somebody pull up. Pull into a spot, get out, go inside. I guess they were picking up a huge order. It wasn't that they were going slow. It was just that they were filling so many online orders at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I think, no, okay, get the people who are here, take care of them. When they go, then you finish the online order, who isn't here yet. Jeffrey figured it out.
Hello, Sasha.
Chick-fil-A is dosing their customers to come back. To say good things about them and come back. Oh, the addictive substance is chicken? I don't know.
Chicken's the one food that you can about eat most days.
Yeah.
I get sick of it.
Yeah, I am getting sick of it too. But of course, it's that lean protein
Yeah, we had a couple of
that is
those.
better.
Yeah, we don't have very many of them around here either, J Rock.
It's a place up the street from me. I gotta. Can't even remember the name of it now.
We
Curry's.
like to
Gotta
go
go to Curry's.
to
Check if they're still open.
Most
we
of our
like to
stuff
go to
changed.
Jim's Truck Plaza.
Like to go where?
They've got Jim's Truck Plaza.
Yeah,
They've
we go to
got
a big truck stop.
Oh, I like to go to truck
Um,
stops too. I haven't been in a long
When
time,
we're
but they always have good
there's
food.
a little diner we like to go to. They've got good food. And they've got fantastic sized portions for the pricing. You buy $25 for a porterhouse that fills up one of those large oval plates. And you also get 2 salads, 2 potatoes, 2 additional sides that could be applesauce or cottage cheese or fruit.
Yeah, $25 is
And
a meal for 2.
or rolls.
Steak meal for 2.
Ew. Ew.
And it's big enough that you really get more than 2 meals out of this.
That's like we go to, which we haven't been since COVID, but we were going to like Olive Garden for the lunch special. You get it for what, $9.99, and you get the second one free.
Used to be fantastic for burgers.
Take it home. So we would eat 3 or 4 meals out of those 2 plates.
We had one right near the University of Buffalo, Fuddruckers, and
Oh yeah,
I used to go there regularly until a friend of mine got a job there and told me some of the horrible stories of what they do in the kitchen. And of course, this was just those particular cooks, and the managers never caught them type thing. But the stories, I mean, I never went again.
Well,
My
it can happen
sister and my
everywhere.
brother both worked for them.
That's one thing I don't. Now, one thing I'll fight over is my food. You don't put your fingers in my food or anything else, and I'm not gonna do it to you either. If I don't like you, I'm still not gonna mess with your food.
Stop mentioning Pop-Tarts. You're making me hungry again, and I just ate.
Do you have Pop-Tarts?
I have
That's
Pop-Tarts.
the problem.
You know, something I've never eaten is a Pop-Tart.
That's it. Dump her.
I don't like
Kick her off the
them,
feed.
really.
Kick her off the feed. No. Can't have somebody who's never had Pop-Tarts.
I don't really care for Pop-Tarts, so I won't kick her off for that.
I've taken a bite of one, but I don't care for it.
I definitely prefer strudel.
We like you, so we'll keep you this
look,
time.
he's gonna beat me with the bottle. Blasphemy.
I should throw this
I'll
bottle
make
at
up
you.
I like Oreo cookies. How about that?
Okay, you're forgiven.
And I don't know why I don't like Pop-Tarts. I just don't know why.
Well, if you haven't had them,
Individually.
I don't like Fido.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I didn't have anything else to eat in the cabinet, I probably would eat them.
Yeah, when I am confronted with a Pop-Tart, I trim off all the excess pie crust edges so that I get just the icing in the middle.
Yep, that's what I do. I don't like the filling. But you would think 20 people lived in this house. We have 2 freezers, plus the freezer on the refrigerator. We have
Me too,
1,
Jeffrey. But they need to
3,
sell extra packets of icing.
3 refrigerators, 2 big size pantry cabinets. Yeah, we think we were scared of going hungry.
Oh no, one of my
Right.
favorite pastry items. I go to a Greek restaurant over here that does what they call grilled bow ties, where they actually butterfly a almond cinnamon pastry and grill it on a griddle with butter. And it's got, all that hot, gooey icing over the top and that nice buttery crispness in the middle. Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, and she says my arteries are going to be hardening. And then she goes and gets that thing.
See, Chalupa, Jeffrey Watts is distinguished.
Ah,
He does streusels.
I'm not a streusel fan.
Oh, I love
GRB, you got it right. Those cherry pies were wonderful.
The sweet potato pie that Bojangles has is good too.
Nah, not a sweet potato fan.
If you like sweet potatoes, it's a good little pie. So you have to like sweet potatoes, of course.
You like those little pies that they have at Tops, though? What is it, pumpkin and what's the other one?
Yeah, there was like a chocolate pudding one and a cherry one, a blueberry one, the pumpkin one. The pumpkin one I like the best. The others were just okay. I am a fan of pumpkin pie.
You see my little red lizard guy?
Oh, yeah. What is that?
Oh, you know what? That is actually, J-Rock, that's actually one of the pies that I will eat, but I just won't eat the crust of it. I love strawberry rhubarb filling.
I think he's cute.
I generally don't like to get desserts when I'm in a restaurant because I don't like to pay $6, $7, $8 for a small wedge of pie. The other day, though, I was still hungry after dinner, and I was just so in the mood. I got a piece of cheesecake from, where were we when I got that?
Was it Chili's?
Could have been, but I was just so in the mood for it.
Outback Steakhouse.
Ah, I actually got a dessert, which I just have not gotten in so long. Just a simple piece of cheesecake.
We got a dessert once, and all it was when it came out, it was one of the mini moon pies laying down, a big old scoop of ice cream on top of it, and some chocolate syrup. And I thought, you gotta be kidding! It was like $8.
Yeah.
And so, of course, when I have a little dinner party or something, I'll go get me a box of moon pies and some ice cream. Because it is pretty.
Like onions.
Oh, I like the blooming onions. I've made some before. They're cool to make.
I love the blooming onions. And J-Rock, the cheesecake is by far my top dessert, followed by cheesecake. Followed by pumpkin pie. And Jen makes a great
amaretto cheesecake.
Yeah, Jen makes a great amaretto flavored cheesecake. That's why I'm down to this little amount of Di Serrano, and she's got the big bottle at her place. But she makes a great cheesecake. Bloomin' tomatoes? I don't think so.
Ah,
Never heard of it. Larry, they rough on you tonight, ain't they?
oh my goodness, he's not
He's a
soda.
putz. No. I've got it. I still had some of my strawberry melon.
Maybe we should have had a point system tonight. That any way you can work in the word putts. Because of
Great.
points.
Well, the two biggest putzes left earlier.
I had to leave. I'm sorry. That's the argument was getting repetitive. And once it gets repetitive,
I can't be in the last sentence or two, so I don't even know what the argument was about. It's like, whoa, we gonna have another night?
yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, Chalupa, you putz.
Terry was here for a minute.
I watched Vinny's stream. In fact, I'm a moderator on his stream, and I've never done moderating work
I
really.
figured it was sarcasm.
But we had to work hard on the trolls.
To make
They would come
bloom.
in there with some sicko names.
Oh, before I
Yeah,
forget, Jen, I did
For a
print out
moment, when
your.
J-Rock said that he was going to show us a video of what he does one of these days, I thought for sure we were going to get the Tic Tac Man right then.
Oh gosh, Jen, just so you know, I did print out your character sheets for tomorrow.
Oh, thank you.
The other day, Brienne scared me because she said in the stream, "Oh, Petroman's coming up," and in the chat, Petroman says it isn't me. So we're like,
Oh.
it's not him, it's not him, not him. But she's just clicking and all. She said, "Well, I'll check it out before I put it in." Well, it's like, well, we don't really want you looking at what you might see.
Yeah.
Checking that out.
But she just got the names mixed up. But it was like, oh my God, somebody got to help her.
But it was a legit. It was a legit person, though.
It wasn't Petroman, but it was somebody else legit. But,
okay.
When he was saying it isn't me, and I just knew she was going to see a little peenie.
Mr. Micro.
But it's like Daddy needs to bring everybody up.
Yeah, Putz Brothers. Yeah, right, man. Yeah. Woohoo.
He probably would never get any better joy than to do that.
If you want to claim the title, I'll let you have it. But there were two other people I was talking about when I was saying the other putzes left earlier.
What if you were the TikTok man, J-Rock? Is that what you're saying? Oh Lord, one of my former co-workers, he was a ladies' man.
She's your girlfriend. She might approve. Who knows?
Yeah.
And she was messing around and reorganizing suitcases and all one day, and a picture fell out. This man had taken another woman on a Bahama cruise. I don't know how he managed that. And she said, "What's this?" And he says, "It ain't me." The picture. Well, one night she happened to get up and she walked up. Was like, "What are you doing on the computer?" She looked down and he was showing himself to somebody he was chatting to. It was acceptable. Whoever he was talking to wanted to see it, I guess. But it's like, man, I can't believe you do all that stuff.
Oh, the thing
not something I do.
To see it. I said, I don't know how your woman puts up with you.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, everybody doesn't need to see everything, you know? You see, who is it that always leaves and then the TikTok man shows up? It's like, what?
Showed up as Chewy once, didn't he? Came up as
He
Lunatic
did
Friends.
show up as Chewy and somebody in Swampies. He showed up as Danny Weshy.
Yeah.
And then who was it on this string? Or Kevin's? He came up as somebody's, but it's like,
that fish
how come?
pond?
And I don't even begin to think it's probably that person, but it's always funny that they leave and within 5 minutes the TikTok man comes in. TikTok.
It's like we never see that person and Batman in the same room either.
Because hey,
Sometimes it makes you wonder if it's an alter ego that's coming in to see who's on the stream, who's there, who would see, and then they switch over to this other username to come back.
okay, well, even I've never seen Jeffrey Watts, so I don't know what he looks like. But if he was to come up, it was my stream, and he showed his face. That's it, and he said, "Hey, this is Jeffrey." I said, "Well, hey, you know, Jeffrey." And then the minute I put him in the show, it's not really Jeffrey, and we're not looking at his face anymore because you don't know who some of these people look like because you've never seen them, and so you know. It's still a slippery slope, and so I guess you could probably hold them backstage and then talk to them in the chat before you release that button or whatever you have to do.
Well, that's why.
Well, how do you know? It could be. It could actually be. It could actually be Jeffrey Watts, and this is what he does. We never knew.
Well, yeah, you don't really know who
we don't know what he looks like. He could come up. He could show his actual face, and when he goes up, he could then strip. We don't know.
Watts has come on screen once.
Did he?
Because you know, if he can get past that one person, then he can show everybody his stuff. Because he might be trying to show it to the men, not the women. You don't know.
You never know.
Right? He's not offended. Well, I already knew that by some conversation between you and somebody else, but I wasn't going to go there. That's why I picked your name, because I knew it wouldn't be you.
Oh, the natural.
Yeah,
natural aquarium. Somebody came up. Thank you, J-Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to get that camera angle, huh? You have to do it from the shoes up.
Maybe that's why he's doing it, just so he can find it.
And then he had his work boots on. And did you notice his boots? That's what I noticed with his boots. He had his like Timberland boot type things on.
First thing I noticed was around was where he was. He was in a bathroom going, why is he in a bathroom? And then noticed that he was naked. Yeah. And then noticed that, oh, wait, he's not wearing pants. Oh, shit. What's going on here?
Well, you know, but Kenny and Danny, they have a tank in their bathroom.
Okay.
Right?
So, you know, I mean, we've seen inside their bathroom on their little tour when Alex went on the tour. We went in the bathroom with Alex. So I thought, well, somebody's got a tank in their bathroom.
Come on, Travis, admit it. You went onto Amazon to order some.
You probably get them at Dick's Sporting Goods.
I just
4:30.
coffee cream so we can get some sleep tonight.
What's sleep?
That thing
Oh,
that
that's the thing I get at
happens
the
when
end of
you're bored.
This thing that happens when I take drugs to help me.
Or when you sit down in the recliner and close your eyes.
Coming to a show near you, Jeffrey Watts.
Well, I nodded off for
Oh,
around 10
that'll be
seconds.
so
My
cool.
God.
Well,
That'll be
thanks
great.
for having me up, even though I was late getting here.
Doing friends.
Oh, he wants to go
Well,
on a
thank
better
you so
subject
much,
before sleep.
everybody who came and hung out with us tonight. Thank you for those
Okay,
of
Dee Dee, you're
you
getting me
who
seasick.
I know I keep banging my table.
read.
Oh my God.
I'm rocking you to sleep there, Larry.
Ah! You are getting sleepy.
Okay, we'll let you be the man of mystery. Thank you, Travis. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. See you
Night,
next
kids.
time.
Bye,
Good
everybody.
night. Bye.
Night.
Are they gone yet?